Hello, welcome to All Signs Tarot. All right. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Abigail. Hi, my little cutie pies. My little cutie pie honey bunch. You guys are so cute. What's up, Complexity, my darling? Hello, Lori. Hello, Dominic. Welcome to All Signs Tarot. What to expect this coming week. Hello. What is going on, ladies and one gent? What's up, Enigma? Enigma, I think it was you that left the comment about the Kevin Gates thing. You'd be surprised, baby. I've lived a lot of lives. That was a funny comment, though. I didn't get a chance to respond yet. What's going on, Vanessa? Hello. Sorry, I'm the shittiest. To be honest, you're gonna stay a moderator regardless. So I really don't care. You're like the bitch that shows up to you're like the bitch at work that never actually shows up to work, but still somehow has a job. Like, that's you. And it's just gonna stay that way, okay? My daughter is about to go get into oh my god, Shannon, congrats! That's so exciting! I know you're so excited. What's up, Sugar and Snaps? You already know. What's going on? I was surprised. Baby, I have rap songs. Did you know that I wrote and rapped myself on Spotify and Apple Music? Yes, I do. I was rapping since I was 16 years old. I've lived a lot of lives, baby. So many different lives. But Shannon, that is incredible. That is so exciting. I'm so happy for you. You deserve the world, Shannon. You're incredible. Don't be nervous. It's going to be fine. I'm going to be praying for you. No, yeah, I swear. Go look it up. Go look up on Apple or Spotify. Bratty Cupcakes, Raging Roses. You can go find it. My little rap name. V, you look amazing. Thank you. Yeah, you can go look it up. Raging Roses by Bratty Cupcakes. All written by me. Nobody ever believes it because they look at me and they don't think that I could ever do that. But as you know, I'm a writer. I have a writing page. I've been writing since I was 7. I can do just about anything. PhD in life. That's right. But yeah, also another announcement that I want to make. I am now offering VIP tarot mentorship. Okay. So if you want to learn tarot, if you just want weekly tarot readings, one-on-one with me, plus mentorship as well, I am offering that now. I have the first package, which is 4 weeks, the second one, which is 8 weeks, and the third one, which is 12 weeks. It also includes Monday through Friday text and email. Okay. So you can email or text me personally every day if you want, within reason, of course. Okay, this is not a crisis hotline, but this is available now on my website. And if you go to violettaalexis.com, you click book, you go all the way to the bottom. It's right there, VIP mentorship. Okay, so check it out, you guys. And if you want to learn tarot through that one-on-one tarot learning sessions, I can offer that, but you just have to specially request it. Okay. All right, you guys. People think of me the same way. Yeah, I've done a lot of done a lot of stuff. Anyway, you guys, welcome to All Signs Tarot. We are going to be taking a look at what you can expect this coming week, okay? So, for Aries through to Pisces, I think we're going to start with Pisces today because I thought we started with Aries last time, I'm pretty sure. So, we'll start with Pisces today and we'll work our way down. And obviously, if you guys want to book a super chat question, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. You guys usually know how it works, but if you don't, it is right here. Okay, so you can go to this website, you can go ahead and click it. If you guys want 15% off your super chat question tonight, then go now before I hit the go live button on Hipsy. So we're live here, but I haven't hit the go live button on Hipsy yet. So if you want to go ahead and book a super chat question during this live for 15% off, then go ahead and go do it now within the next few minutes, okay? Looks can be deceiving, absolutely. And fourth one is for life. Thanks, Sugar and Snaps. Wait, what? Wait, what fourth one? I don't get it. V can definitely sing. What? Girl, what are you talking about? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know if those are jokes. I don't understand. The fourth one is for life. What's the fourth one? I don't know what you mean. The packages you offered. Oh. Bitch. I'm clearly too slow for your jokes. He's got that little rainbow circle above my head. Now processing. Vanessa's like, okay. I think I'm just done talking for the rest of the night. Forget it. Forget it. What's up, Faye? Poor Vanessa. I'm sorry. What's up, Michaela? All right. So yeah. If you guys have not checked out my community post, and you want to know the frequently asked questions on the tarot course, or you want to know the frequently asked questions on the tarot mentorship, then just go ahead and check out my community post page. You will have all of that information there for you. Okay. When you have a PhD in life, come on. Okay. I got it. All right. Let me go ahead and put on my little music. I need help. Okay. All right. We got to turn on the emo-ness. Got to turn on the emo in the background, guys. You guys, please all give Shannon some blessings for this evening, because she is gonna be a grandma, guys. Shit, you know. What's up, underdog? Pink is such your color. Thank you. Poor Vanessa. Okay, only I can encourage her. You're not allowed to, okay? All right, guys. Yay! All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, cool. Yay! All right, here we go. I'm doing it. Okay. Bink. All right. Now we are live on Hipsy. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at all signs. Let me grab my other deck. Oh, wow. The lighting changed like as soon as I got back. That was interesting. All right, give me 1 second here. Welcome to all signs. Yay. I love you guys. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm excited for next week. Let's see what we got. That full moon is hitting us tomorrow. Wee, wee, wee. All the way. I know I'm a gilf. Hell yeah, baby. Period. Hi, Wander Tarot. Hi, my cutie girl. What's going on? I hope you're doing lovely. Thank you for the beautiful reviews that you left me on Hipsy. That was so kind. All right. Make sure I got these freaking cards in order. All right. Yes. We love a confident queen. Isn't that right, Shannon? Okay. Glamour. Ooh, that's cute. All right. Let's do it. Michaela, it's so nice to see you here as usual. And you guys, make sure you check out Underdog Tarot's channel. She's a little shy, so make sure you show her some love. Okay, nobody will ever understand how much I hate this attachment. It looks so bad. Can I just, all right, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ignore the leftover residue from the tape on the wall. Thank you, Miss Redmond. I think it's my South Node in Libra that really gives me that. Being able to look so good in pink. So let's do this. Okay. All right, let's do it. Oh, you're welcome, Underdog Tarot, of course. Let me know the next time you go live. Don't try to hide it from me. Don't make this harder on yourself. All right, let's see. Feeling the Libra vibes, right? All right, so, sorry. This is like being weird. Vanessa, don't let her fool you, okay? She's a little subby. Just kidding. I know this full moon is serving karmic justice. Ugh. Yeah, it sounds terrifying, honestly. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Wander Tarot, thank you for the super chat question I just saw that you booked. Thank you very much. That means the world to me, especially coming from you. Okay, so let's do this. It really all depends on what the kid is. Lori, 100%, 10 out of 10, no notes. Okay, guys. All right, guys, welcome. Let's take a look at All Signs Tarot. What to expect this coming weekend. I think Saturn is I think I don't like that. I think Saturn is conjunct the North Node this coming week too, which is going to be interesting. Okay, so Pisces. Let's do it. All right, Pisces, let's see what you can expect for this coming week. Okay. You're in the King of Swords energy. You're showing up as a masculine. For some of you, it can be reversed. What you can expect is the Emperor in reverse. Kind of like a loss of control here. The Page of Wands for your advice. I kind of want to say, like, don't take things too seriously this week. You know, try to let go a little bit. Try to love, laugh, live. You know, try not to take things too seriously. You guys may come up against a boss this week, or somebody who's trying to dominate over you, or somebody who's trying to control your situation, control what it is that you have going on in your life, trying to control your relationship, a relationship trying to control you, or maybe that's you ultimately. But let's see what that King of Swords is about. The Five of Swords. The Six of Cups. What's that Five of Swords? The Six of Wands. I don't think it's too bad. I mean, 2 6s, in my opinion, when it comes to tarot, is a positive. So I don't absolutely hate it. I think with that King of Swords, that Five of Swords, and the Six of Cups, I think that you want to be fair. when it comes to you and another connection, when it comes to maybe you and a child, you and the relationship that you have with a child, or you and the relationship that you have to a soulmate, whether that's a friend, platonic, or somebody romantic. So I think that there's a strong determination for you to have some kind of success with this person. I also think that you're very determined to get this person's positive attention, but you're not doing it, in my opinion, because the rest of the cards seem to be pretty positive. I don't deem that Five of Swords as something that's crappy, right? It's like the Five of Swords can be when we are willing to really either do anything and everything to get what we want, but sometimes the Five of Swords can really just be about a very strong determination to go for the gold or to get across the finish line, which I don't think is always bad. So I think with you, it's just that you're trying to have a connection by being fair, by being clear, by being very concise, straightforward, etc., because you are determined to have this connection with this other person. So it's like, if like there are two ways that you can go about something. You can either be like, you know what, in order to get this person to like me or love me or whatever, maybe I need to act in a certain way, or maybe I need to deceive this person. Or if we truly want to be loved, we strip down to the absolute bare. Keep your clothes on. Okay. That's not what I mean. I mean to the soul. Okay. So it may be this energy where you're like, you know what, I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be open. I'm just going to be me, because I think that that is the way that I can keep this connection, or that is the way that I can have this connection, etc. So I feel like you're going about it more so in the right way, because you feel like you need to. If this is a connection that you feel is truly authentic to you, that you feel is sees your soul in some kind of way, you're going to want to show up as authentic as possible, because if you feel like this person resonates with your soul, then why not show it? Why not show the one thing that you feel like sees you completely and wholly? So, I like it. I don't hate it at all. The Emperor reversed, the High Priestess reversed, and the Hierophant. What to expect, huh? It definitely feels like you have somebody here who is and I don't know if this is you, but it seems like it's around a relationship, some kind of foundational structure in your life. And if this is you with that Emperor in reverse, since you are showing up as masculine energy, this can be that you may find yourself getting in your own way. And it can be more subconsciously. So if you grew up in a household, right, for instance, where you felt like you were constantly being monitored, you felt like you were constantly being judged, or you had these crazy expectations that had been put on you by a father figure or a mother figure, you may end up emulating that in your relationships, mirroring that in your relationships. And then what happens? Then you end up subconsciously attracting a bunch of people that expect you to put on a show, expect you to show up in that exact same way that your parents expect you to show up, right? And then you're subconsciously putting on the show, and you're never really getting an authentic relationship. So I think that for some of you, that's kind of coming to the forefront for you. And it's going to ask you, wait, let's stop the show, right? Let's take off the mask. It's whatever. Who are we really? Who are we really? And what have we been showing other people? And what does that say about us? And what does that say about what we've been through? What does that say about the lack of healing? So I feel like this week, you're probably going to figure it out. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think you're going to be pushed out of your comfort zone. And I think it's going to force you to be like, okay, well, here's me, trying to cover your metaphorical boobs or whatever, especially if you're a dude. Okay. But that's what it looks like to me. Don't be so serious. Your advice is the Page of Wands, the Four of Pentacles reversed, and the Lovers reverse. It reminds me of that movie Gia with Angelina Jolie. And she, now trust me, I'm not saying that this is you, okay? But it wasn't necessarily the situation. It was what this photographer said to her. And she's sitting there, and she had some addiction problems and things like that, and it was very apparent. And so she had to hide her arms in this photo shoot, and he was trying to help her. And she goes, Angelo, I think that was his name. And he said, yes, Gia. And she said, I'm really sorry. Thank you. And he goes, Gia, this is earth, not heaven. You don't have to be perfect, right? And I kind of like feel like that's what I need to say to you. And I think that there's a little I don't want to say naive, but a little child inside of you that's still kind of looking for validation. And because of that, you may have found that you had to put on some kind of armor, you had to show up in a certain way in order to get those needs met, which actually really ended up disconnecting you from what really is meant for you. And then the further along that you walked with that armor on, the further that you went out to sea, totally forgetting about that little page at the shore waiting to really just be loved for who he or she is. And so I think for you, it's really about taking that chance. Even if you don't feel super confident in who you authentically are, you will build confidence through pushing through that fear of who you are. So that is what I have for you, Pisces. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And obviously, if you want to book a super chat question during this live, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. Let's move on to Aquarius. Yes, Tom, we love that too. But Gia is a great movie. Gia is a great movie. That's a great movie. So sad though, honestly. All right, Aquarius, let's see what you have going on this coming week. 4 of Swords for your energy. Okay. It's not bad. Maybe spending a little bit of alone time this week. The Fool in reverse for what to expect. Might be something a little unexpected. The 9 of Swords reversed for your advice. I feel like it's a lot of mental energy, going on. I think that you just have a lot going on inside of your brain. I think that for some of you, you could be worried about something that you actually don't need to be as worried about it as you think you are. I think you're making yourself suffer more than you need to. That's what that looks like to me. And so whether that is you are making yourself suffer through overthinking, or you are actually making yourself suffer through keeping in contact with people that hurt you, or if it really is about engaging with certain traumatic memories. Now, if you need to do this because you're trying to work through them, then absolutely I would encourage that, but be careful of overthinking. You have the 4 of Swords with the 3 of Pentacles reversed, and then you have the Devil. Okay. So there's definitely this energy about you where you're overcoming some kind of pain. And I still think that you're there, but you're sitting with it. So you're kind of sitting on that pain. And sometimes we need to sit with the pain. We need to sit on the pain because we need to figure out how the fuck we got here in the first place, right? And maybe why we have accepted that level of pain for as long as we have. And so you're at this point where you're still stuck on either feeling not valued, or maybe someone was being condescending towards you. Maybe you just feel like somebody has been reprimanding you in some way with that 3 of Pentacles in reverse. 3 of Pentacles in reverse, this is Mars and Capricorn. So when I think about it, it makes me feel like somebody who, Capricorn is kind of the grandpa, right? But in reverse, in the negative light, especially with Mars, because Mars can be very assertive and can be argumentative. It's making me feel like this is more passive aggressive, something that you've been dealing with, or somebody who's been very condescending towards you, maybe. And so I feel like that's kind of got you either in your ego or in your feels, really, and very stuck on not feeling appreciated. And so I think that for a lot of you, you're internalizing it a bit. Just make sure if you're going to internalize it, make sure that you find a good outlet to get that out of you, because I don't want you sitting in there waiting in it like some kind of poisonous pool, right? And so be careful of getting stuck there too long or isolating yourself for too long. What is that Devil? The 6 of Swords. It's something that is very hard for you to move on from. And it can be because of old wounds. Like I think that for us, for instance, like if you grew up with a narcissistic parent, right? If you grew up with a narcissistic parent, you will find that the rest of your life, you were constantly and subconsciously trying to get difficult people to love you or accept you, or you're trying to get their validation because you're still trying to fix whatever that is, and so maybe it's something that you're trying to pinpoint, but only you are really going to know what that looks like for you. The Fool reversed. the Six of Pentacles reversed and the Death card. I feel like unexpectedly, you may be pulling your energy back or even your money from a difficult person or from a situation that is making you feel like shit about yourself. So for instance, if you kept giving somebody money and kept giving somebody money and kept giving somebody money, even though you really had none to give yourself. And so essentially what you were doing was draining yourself just to feel validated by another person. I feel like unexpectedly that is going to come to an end. It may be something that this person does to you, or maybe it is a job, right? I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm just telling you certain things, okay? But it's going to help you through your point of evolution. You're going to be looking at this and you're going to be like, God damn, why do I do this to myself? Why do I do this to myself? Like, if you're in a connection and you feel like you keep giving and giving and giving, and every single time that you have a conversation with this person, you walk away feeling like something has been taken from you, that is because it has. And you need to listen to that. And I feel like this is going to be the evolution, but I think it's going to be difficult because of how it comes about. Where you're going to look at something and you're going to be like, there's no way that I can keep giving to this because it would totally go against who I am as far as like my own moral compass or my own dignity, you know? So, yeah, I mean, your advice, Nine of Swords reversed, Ace of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups reversed. Okay. I really want you to focus on building something substantial, like building something tangible, something that you know is going to be a project, so to speak, but not a project in where we are trying to raise like a grown ass man or a grown ass woman, right? Kind of project. I'm talking about a project that's going to be individually conducive to you and your overall mental health, not to everybody else and how everybody else can benefit from you. But what is the one thing that you can start building? What is the one thing that you like? Let's say that you want to be a life coach, right? Okay, great. So, how do we do that? We're going to maybe ask ChatGPT what are some of the best places that I can get my life coach certification. And then it tells us. And then we're like, oh, well, maybe we can't afford that. Okay, what's the next right step? Okay, so it would be making more money, saving more money, except whatever it is. Okay, so until you take that step by step process in order to become that life coach or whatever it is that you deem appropriate for your own personal life and your own personal goals. But whatever this has been, this can't happen anymore. This can't happen anymore because you are going to wake up one day and you're going to wonder where the fuck your life has gone. And you're going to wonder why you feel so drained. And you're going to wonder why your hair has grayed prematurely. Okay. So do something that is tangible, take practical steps, do something that is positive for your overall mental health. And if it's something that you're marinating on, that you know the reason why you attracted this behavior, you know the reason why you lack self-worth or self-value, now it's time to be like, okay, I learned that. I know where it comes from. I understand what I need to do now. And then you apply that wisdom and you keep moving forward. So that is what I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. What's up, Carmelita? What's up, Aesthetic Delta? Nice to see you. All right. All right, cool. Are you guys also, don't forget, if you guys want to join my VIP tarot mentorship, you can do so right here. If you want to see the FAQ, you can go ahead and check my YouTube community post, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn. I hope you are doing super well. 1 second here. There we go. Okay. All right, Capricorn, let's see your energy for this coming week. Okay, Five of Pentacles in reverse. That's good. Could be paying off some debts, fixing your financial situation, overcoming abandonment wounds or some kind of fears. Seven of Cups in reverse. This is what to expect. So you may be finally making a decision on something because you feel like you're cutting through the illusions, cutting through the fog. Two of Swords in reverse. This is about making decisions, in my opinion. But it can be decisions that don't necessarily favor everybody. And maybe a decision that you're gonna have to make for yourself. Not with consideration for everybody, because it may not be about everybody. You know what I mean? Wow. The Five of Pentacles reverse, the World, the Eight of Pentacles. Ooh, I love this so much. As an earth sign, this is sexy. This is all earth here. This is gorgeous. So the Five of Pentacles reverse with the World, with the Eight of Pentacles, it feels to me like something that was either draining for you or something that didn't make sense for you financially. Maybe it was some kind of debt. Whatever it was something that drained you or something that made you feel alone, or it was bad budgeting. It was maybe some debts. Whatever it is, that is now coming to an end. And it almost feels like a weight off your shoulders. It feels like there's this energy where you can finally breathe. The hard work, I don't want to say it's done, but like with the World there, it's some kind of journey that you have completed. And now with that Eight of Pentacles, it almost feels like now you can finally put your head down on and work on what it is that you really want to work on. And this isn't something that is not going to last a long time. This isn't something that is here today and gone tomorrow. This is something that is likely going to last for a lifetime. You're really, excuse my French, but you're really busting your ass this week. You're really putting your head down. You're raising your standard. You're doing what it is that you have to do. No distractions. You're not screwing around. You're doing you're doing what you have to do in order to fix your financial situation, fix your marriage, whatever it is. But you're doing the work that you need. You're doing the work that you need to do. For some of you, you can be working really, really hard because you're trying to build a business, or you can be working really hard on your routine, right? Gym, tan, laundry, okay? But ultimately, this is hard work and sacrifice is what you're doing, and it's working. You're doing the right thing. Because it almost feels as though there's this realization of what needs to change in order for you to completely succeed. Because sometimes you can be in the dark about that. Sometimes we can get really distracted. We can feel like we're scattered, and it doesn't feel like that with you. It feels like there was a problem and now there's a solution, and you slay it basically. And then you keep working on that, allows you to keep working towards some kind of level of independence. Ooh, two sevens. Wow. Seven of Cups reverse, Seven of Swords, and the Sun. You can expect that you will see through the fog of what felt very confusing to you, of what you felt like you couldn't see in order to make the decision that you need to make in regards to your life's purpose, in regards to your soul's path, in regards to who you are and your sense of self expression, leadership, and potential entrepreneurship. This is where you make that decision. This is where the options that you've had for a while that you were uncertain about, now you know what you're doing. And I feel like you're not telling anybody about it, or you're being more secretive, or you're playing your cards close to the chest. Yet you have this smile on your face about it. You have this smile on your face about life. It's like you know how they say like ego is loud and confidence is quiet? Only something like this can build that. Only something like this, out of true hard work and determination. Not the fakers, not the fronters, not the people that are pretending to be something that they're not, but people who have actually done it, people who have actually been through it, people who have actually whatever, and that's where you are. But it feels like it's for a bigger picture, a bigger purpose, something bigger than what I can see. I mean, the world, the sun, like, come on. But it's after things have been hazy for a while, you're starting to see something for what it is, or you're understanding the path, or Nine of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles in your energy. Nine of Pentacles, I told you, you're working to that place of independence. You have to choose. It's all well and good to want to do for others. It's all well and good to want to give everybody advice. It's all well and good to want to make people smile. And sometimes we may feel like we have to betray ourselves in some way or bite our tongue in some way in order to do that. But I don't think this week is going to call for that. I think this week is about where you stop avoiding what you actually need to do to save other people's feelings, and you make the definitive decision to choose your own happiness, even if that means that you have to walk away from people, places, things that no longer serve you. Because I mean, come on, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups, you see that something doesn't make sense anymore. You see it for what it is. You see through the fog. You can see it. You see it, and you know that you do. And now it's this energy of like, okay, like, this is a very, very solo energy to me. The Two of Swords, okay, is Moon in Libra. When it's reversed like that, it makes me think of Moon in Aries. The Nine of Pentacles, all the nines in tarot is about individuality and self. The Eight of Cups is when we had a fantasy about something. We had a fantasy about another. We were living in the fog. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We weren't seeing things correctly. We were obsessed with something. And the Eight of Pentacles is Saturn in Pisces. It's that energy of like, all right, you know what? I might have to go at this alone in order to really figure it out. And that's what it's asking you to do. So what are you going to do? Because you're there. You're like on this precipice of some kind of worldly success or some kind of bigger level of success than what it is that you have acquired previously. But this is about you, not anybody or anything else. It's almost like a work hard now, play later kind of energy that I'm getting. So that is what I have for you, and you guys know all about that, right? That's what I have for you, Capricorn. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question during this live, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. And also, if you guys want to join my VIP tarot mentorship, you can do so right here by clicking on this link. Thank you to whoever that was. I don't know who just joined, but I really, really appreciate it. I didn't see what that said. Does anybody know who that was? Okay. Right, Vanessa? I love that. And I'm assuming that says thank you. You are absolutely welcome. All right, Saggy. Cha cha cha. Whoops. All right, let's see here. Okay. All right, let's see, Sag. Wow, the tower. All right, coming in hot. I'm wondering if this is about your guys' public status or career for some reason. Or maybe something financially. Let's see. The 10 of Wands for what to expect. You got some heavy energy here this week, Saggy. What's going on? Damn, 10 of Pentacles. Talk about career. The Tower, 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. You're letting go of the trash to build with the crumble. Whatever is crumbling down, you're building from it. There's a completion happening. It's not easy either. It probably feels like shit if I'm going to be honest with you, but I feel like you've already been going through that. This is a time to build now. You're going to take responsibility for something huge. This is a big deal. The Three of Wands reversed. The Star. The Tower with the Three of Wands reversed and the Star. You're sick of waiting for something. You're sick of waiting for something to change. You're sick and tired of waiting for other people to make decisions. You're sick and tired of waiting for everybody else in order for you to accomplish your goals, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes. You're sick and tired of waiting for people to change. You're tired of waiting for somebody to apologize. You're frustrated. You're frustrated because you felt like you have, or you feel like you've been waiting for something so long to happen and it just hasn't. And you're like, you know what? Fuck that with the Tower. And it seems like you're just not waiting anymore. It seems like there's something bigger. There's something grander. It's that tower moment when we're jumping out of the tower, which is essentially what you're trying to do, because that tower is in the upright, which tells me you're not trying to hold on to it. You're like, you know what? Whatever. I'm not getting what it is that I want out of this anyway. And it's kind of being a little bit of a party pooper, if I may be so honest and frank. But it's like when you're jumping out of the tower and then you look up and like the stars are guiding you and you know exactly where to go. I feel like you guys know exactly where to go because it's not here. That's why you're letting go of whatever it is. You're letting go of it. I don't know if it's a marriage, I don't know if it's a career, but it's like that constant like waiting for like something's got to give and you're like it's not going to give. It's not going to give, so I got to get going. That's what that looks like to me. But there's hope. It's almost like walking away from the fire with a smile on your face. This understanding and all knowing that everything is going to work out, because in the moment we never think that, right? We in the moment with something like the Tower, it feels life altering, and it's because it is. It's because it is, but it feels so uncomfortable. And it feels uncomfortable because we can't see down the road. We can't see why that's being removed from our lives. So it feels like we don't have control, and we'd be absolutely correct. We don't have control. And thank God we don't have control over everything all the time. Otherwise, our lives would be a lot more shitty than they are right now. So it's a sense of trusting in the universe, trusting in the universe, trusting in God. And you're definitely there. Wow, you have 10, 10, 10 on the table. Whoa. 10 of Cups reversed and the Magician. Is it a relationship? Is it a divorce? There's some heavy lifting here going on in a relationship. What's that 10 of Cups reversed? The 3 of Cups. Could be a third party situation. You can expect that something is coming to a close. You can expect that it's going to feel heavy, it's going to feel burdensome, but I feel like you're handling it fine. It could be an issue around a family get together. It could be an issue around a third party. It can be an issue around a marriage or some kind of long term relationship that maybe you felt like you were just idealizing. Maybe it was you that was doing all of this work and all of this work and all of this work. And then you found, like, holy shit, I realized that the more work that I do, the less happier I am, you know? And it's like how I say all the time, stop giving somebody more of what they don't already appreciate. Maybe that's what it is, you know? Or it can be reversed, okay? But I'm not going to read it like that. And it seems like with that Magician energy, there's this level of confidence that you are acquiring from dropping the wands, from dropping the responsibility. You're like, I'm done with that. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to have to be um the one who's carrying it all in order to make everybody else happy. You know, it can be something as simple as maybe you are married or something like that, and you keep having these expectations of your husband or your wife to help around the house or to do their part or pay a bill, or and like nobody's doing that. And so you're like, "Oh my god, okay. Well, this is no longer fun for me. I feel like I've kind of put all of my happiness into, well, maybe the more that I do, the more that I'll receive," when you realize you're really not receiving very much at all. And it may get to this point where you may end a relationship, or it may be that you even end a relationship dynamic with a family member, okay? Or maybe it's that you actually resolve something, because there can be like a reconciliation, and I don't think that it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be difficult, but it seems to me like you have the wherewithal, or you have the power with that Magician. You may have the power to make a change or to make something change. And it can't just feel like there's just a lot of heaviness around your emotions, just around family in general, but I feel like something can be worked through. And it's because it feels like you alleviate these expectations. Because I think a lot of the times what we do, I think that potential is when we're just expecting somebody else to do what we would do in a similar situation when that isn't necessarily true. You know what I mean? Because not everybody is the same. Not everybody has the similar experiences. The Ten of Pentacles, the King of Cups reversed, and the Ace of Wands. If you are not this King of Cups reversed, okay? If you are not, and this is somebody that you're dealing with, what do you want? What do you want long term? What do you want to build legacy wise, right? Remember when I said I felt like this had something to do with your public status or your public reputation, like 10th house stuff? Like, especially if you're a Sagittarius rising, right? Like, you have the South Node transiting your 10th house of career and reputation and blah, 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 right? And that can also represent relationships and like how you're expected to show up. So there may be this energy of maybe where you have been carrying something for a long time in your career or your public status, but you maybe felt like it was just all you and you weren't necessarily building with somebody else because somebody wasn't building with you or somebody wasn't doing their part or you felt like you didn't have the support of your family. But you're the one with the power. You're the one with the power. You're the one that can carry all those straws that broke the camel's back, but not yours, right? This is telling you to get motivated. You don't always need somebody else's validation or pat on the back in order to reach your own goals or to get where it is that you need to go. If you are this King of Cups reversed, then maturity is going to be your best friend when it comes to your goals, when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to your intimate life, when it comes to being inspired. That lack, like, seriously, there was a study done where it said that IQ doesn't always necessarily matter. They said that EQ, or excuse me, yeah, whatever, emotional intelligence, fucking irony of that, emotional intelligence gets people further than actual IQ level. Okay. And so I want to say with this, emotional intelligence, maturity, if you're that King of Cups reverse, that is going to be your best friend in obtaining your goals. So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want to book a super chat question, you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. All righty. Scorpio. What's up, bestie? PhD in law. Shut up, Vanessa. You fucker. Oh, Aesthetic Delta. You're the one that became a dragon. Oh, I love you. Thank you. I was like, who was that? And you guys keep in mind, if you want to join my VIP tarot mentorship, you can do so right here by clicking that link that I just dropped in the chat. Okay. And I can also teach you guys tarot if that's something you're interested in. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to. All right. Let's see here. Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, let's see what you can expect this coming week. Ooh, definitely not mad at you with that Queen of Pentacles energy. So you're showing up as the Queen of Pentacles. We love her. The Four of Wands for what to expect. Oh, man, are you guys about to take the gold for the best reading tonight? Let's see. Ooh, Temperance. I'm definitely not mad at you. I mean, this looks like for some of you, you're like getting married or you're entering a relationship or your just business is doing really, really well. You're taking very good care of yourself. You may be going out. You may have an event to go to. You may have a reason to celebrate, which it looks to me like there will be. What I want to say, if there's an event that you get invited to this week, I want to say go because I feel like it would be very fortuitous for you. Like I said, your money's looking good, home life, family life, whatever it is that you have going on, business, etc. All of that looks good. It's just asking you to keep it into balance. So let's see that Queen of Pentacles. The Three of Swords. Okay, nobody's going to keep you down, are they? The Eight of Swords. Damn. That's really interesting to me. And I mean, this is so like the Phoenix rising from the ashes with that Queen of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Eight of Swords. It's like where we're stuck on some kind of heartbreak. We're not really sure what to do about it. But what we are sure about is that we're going to take that motherfucking coconut milk bubble bath. We know that we're going to get them toes done. We know that we're going to start a new business. We know that we're going to renew our LLC. We know that we're going to da, 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 da. So I feel like besides whatever heartbreak it is that you've gone through, I don't feel like it's stopping you from taking care of yourself and doing what it is that you need to do. If I could say anything, this to me feels like a very healthy coping mechanism for the things that you are either going through now or that you've been through that seem to still weigh heavy on your heart. And I do think that there are times where you overthink it, but it's like you know exactly how to cope with it in a healthy way, not in an unhealthy way. What's that Three of Swords? The Queen of Wands. For some of you, this is a same sex relationship. It can also be that somebody broke your heart and kind of broke your confidence. So now you're focusing more so on the tangible, practical side of life for you to rebuild that level of confidence. So it's a lot of self care, a lot of self work, and I think that's the reason why, because I think somebody kind of either like hurt your confidence or made you second guess yourself. And so it kept you stuck there and it kept you questioning yourself. And isn't that funny how people can hurt us and insult us and it like totally affects our self worth and our self value? Because it's not really ours, is it? If we allow somebody to affect us in that way, it's always so important to keep balanced with those things. It's like even if somebody insults you, insults your appearance, which is really, really difficult, you know, especially when they hit that one point that we just know we've had as an injury our entire lives, right? And somebody hits it and it's like, oh, you know, we just detonate basically. We self-detonate. But it's interesting because I feel like we shouldn't, because it's about self. We should validate ourselves. And I think that even when people give us a compliment and then we walk around with our chest out and now we're better than ever, some people do that as well. We've all done it, right? So it's like so important to keep that balance, whether through heartbreak or insults or somebody just thinks you're the best thing since sliced bread. So, but I feel like you're coping with whatever it is very well, which I'm proud of. Damn. Justice, Ace of Swords. Ugh. Something, in my opinion, is going to be revealed to you. Some kind of truth. If you guys are going through a legal battle, it's very likely that you will win or you guys will come out on top. If you have been waiting for some kind of truth to set you free in regards to another person, in regards to a situation, in regards to your past, in regards to your own self, this is going to set you free this week. This is absolute freedom, karmic justice in your favor. All the truths are being spilt. It's a beautiful energy, which is in turn this energy where you weren't really sure what to do. You just kind of know how to cope with it, but you weren't really sure how to move forth. You weren't really sure how to get unstuck from this feeling, from this person, from this situation. Now the choice is here. Now the clarity is here. Now you know how to move forward. And damn, it fucking feels good. Especially with that Four Wands, Justice, Ace of Swords. I mean, nothing could be more clear. Damn, this is good reading. Okay. Temperance, Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Ace of Cups reversed. So this is for your advice. So when it comes to like your work life, your creative life, your love life, I really want you to find a balance. So if you feel like you just kind of want to ignore emotions, you don't want to stress about them, you don't want to look at them, and you throw yourself into like work or something like that, I get it. Okay. I'm a quadruple earth sign, baby. I totally get it. But I think it's also very, very important for you to get in touch with your creative self. I know that if I don't do that and I just throw myself into my work as opposed to doing something creative, especially when my heart breaks, I feel like it is so wasted because it's like my mind has somewhere to go, but I'm completely ignoring my heart. My heart needs a place to express itself. My heart needs that moment. My heart is, you know, a person too, right? It's not just about the mind. It's like we can't ignore that because it's going to come back up. And so I think it's really important. While like, yes, I'm really happy that you're taking care of yourself. I'm really, really happy you're throwing yourself into your work and your business, et cetera, et cetera. I want you to let your heart speak for itself as well and give yourself that breathing room, give yourself that space. So make sure that you find that balance. Otherwise, great reading. So that is what I have for you, Scorpio. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want to book a super chat question during this live, you can do so. Also, if you want to learn tarot or if you want to book a VIP mentorship with me, then you can do so right here by clicking that link in the chat. Let's go ahead and move on. What's up, Libra transitioned? Yes, that Venus retro ends tomorrow. I'm a little afraid. I kind of don't want it to end. Kind of don't want it to end. But like maybe I do. I don't know. I'm just scared because I have so much of my chart is like ruled by Venus. And I just anything that Venus is doing, I'm like, I just don't want her to go back into Aries. Although I actually didn't mind her in Aries. It was okay. All right. Libra. Libra, a 4 of Cups reversed. What to expect this week? Page of Swords. Okay. Okay. 2 of Wands. You're trying to figure something out here. You're very curious. Very curious this week. You're ready to do something different as well, I'm feeling. I feel like you also have more at your disposal than you think that you do. But it almost feels subconscious. It almost feels like you don't realize it quite yet. Hmm. Okay. 4 of Cups reversed, the 7 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. It's an interesting energy. I mean, the 7 of Pentacles is so deliberate. It's so intentional. It's very slow. It thinks, it processes, it takes its time, while the Knight of Swords is like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going for it. There's a level of maturity, yet impulsiveness at the same time. A sense of curiosity for what it is that you're wanting to invest in truly. You're out of this poor me energy that you may have been in recently where you're like doubtful or even potentially lacked gratitude in your life for certain things. But it seems like you're doing something with it. It seems like you're starting to notice the small things and you know how to turn it into something bigger. And so now with that 7 of Pentacles, it's this, we're deliberating. What do we want to do? Where is the best place to put our energy? Where is the best place to invest our money? This is not financial advice. Okay, these are just certain scenarios. And I feel like with that Knight of Swords, you're asking a lot of questions about what that's going to look like, where that's going to go. For some of you, you can be investing a lot in your education. Okay. And it seems like you're taking action towards those things. It just seems like you need more information before making a solid move. Because I think that you're getting to this point where you feel like something is taking too long. You're like, this is like taking a while. And you might get impulsive. You might become impulsive because you're starting to lack patience and you're like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it right now. You know, that's kind of the energy. Because now it's like you're feeling a little bit better than yourself than you did this week or the week before, whatever it is. And so now you're coming out of that energy and now you're like, what am I going to do with this? But then you kind of get this wild hair up your ass and you go for it. What are we trying to go for here? The Hermit. Ooh. Well, it's certainly all about you. This is about who you want to be and who you are. I will say this. I'm not telling you not to consult with others, but you know the answer. You know the answer to your questions. You do. You're just looking for somebody to give you confirmation. That's why you're watching this tarot reading now. But you already know the answer. Page of Swords, 8 of Wands reverse, 7 of Wands in reverse. Who's stopping you? For some of you, this is simply about another person. Okay. So for those of you that are on the fritz with somebody, or this can be somebody who's spying on you, kind of watching you, but it can be somebody who's blocked. Can be somebody who's blocked, somebody who's feeling intimidated by you in one way or another, or this can be you as well. But there is a block. This can also be you feeling like you have a lack of education, or you don't have all of the answers, and you feel like that is what's stopping you from getting what it is that you want, from achieving what it is that you want. Well, it's like that saying, how do you eat a whale? One bite at a time. What is the next right thing to do? That was one of the things that saved me, honestly. I had this person I had dated many, many, many years ago, and it was like in 2015. And I am a type of person where I'm just very scattered. I'm like all over the place a lot of the times. And so he said, my mom always told me, what is the next right thing to do? And it seems so simple, right? But if you really think about it, it's like, oh, well, if I want to make spaghetti, I don't need to be scattered about it and be like, "Oh my god, I need all of these ingredients." Well, what is probably the most important thing that we need, right? We have water. We already have water. Great. What is the next right thing? We need some fucking noodles, right? What is the next right thing? We need some sauce. Whatever it is. So, what is the thing that you're trying to achieve? And why are you looking at it like all of these ingredients when you just need to condense it and do it step by step? Your advice is the Two of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Two of Cups reversed. Sometimes you have to do what makes you happy, even if it means making somebody else unhappy. It doesn't mean you have to be cruel, doesn't mean you have to be mean, but sometimes we have to choose our own happiness, even at the expense of another's. That's really the only advice I have for you, honestly. Push yourself to do something you normally wouldn't. So that is what I have for you, Libra. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. What is this hair on my freaking thing? Okay. And if you guys want to learn tarot, or you want to become a part of my VIP tarot mentorship, then you can click the link that I just dropped in the chat box below. Let's move on to Virgo. What's up, Wander Tarot? I had to swallow pride this week and could hear you say fear is useful for when we are in physical danger versus letting it run decisions from triggers. Damn, did I say that? Matthew, 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 Matthew. Sit this one out, buddy. Sit this one out. All right, Virgo. Okay, Virgo, let's see what you got going on this week, shall we? Ooh, not mad at ya. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, this is cute. The Five of Cups in reverse, even cuter. Well, maybe not as cute as the Wheel of Fortune, but King of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Are we just winging it here? Something's definitely moving forward. We're letting go of control. You're letting go of control, which is actually making you move forward faster than you thought that you would. A lot of forgiveness here, a lot of letting go of the past, a lot of letting go of old habits that we had in the past that made us regret a lot of the decisions that we made, and now we're moving forward. We're moving forward in a more high vibrational way, in a more optimistic way, in a more expansive way. So we're not getting lost in the minute details. Although we see those, we see the details, right? Jupiter is in Gemini, but we are kind of missing them. And sometimes missing the details of something can actually save you, because we get too bogged down by them. We tend to cling on to them like little habits, and then we forget the bigger picture. But not you. Even though you're ruled by Mercury, which is all about the details, okay, you're not doing that. You're seeing further than that. It's like instead of frolicking into the woods and, you know, inspecting every little tree that you see and trying to climb them, you are outside of the forest. You're seeing how big it is. You're mapping it out. You're saying, okay, I want to get through that forest, but I don't want to get hung up on every little tree as I'm going past. I want to get through the forest. Okay. No, that's a bad example, but that's what it feels like to me. You're seeing something for what it is. You're seeing it for the beauty that it is. You're not getting bogged down in, oh, this is going to be worked. This is going to be work. You're becoming uplifted by the beauty of this metaphorical forest, which is essentially your journey. There's an excitement there, in my opinion. Okay. Page Pentacles reversed, the Chariot. You're definitely not getting bogged down in the details. This is like somebody who throws themselves to the wolves and knows that they're going to come out on the other end, or throws themselves into the forest knowing that they're going to come out on the other end without getting eaten by a bear. If I ever come in contact with a bear, call help for the bear, you know, kind of vibes. It's really beautiful. Wherever you did have fear before, you still have it, but you're doing it anyway because you believe, because you have faith. You're like, it's the student who's been a student for too long. And now you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm bigger than that. You know, I've seen everything I needed to see. I know this forest like the back of my hand, you know, whatever it is. You're doing it, baby. Woo. Love it. Love it. Oh my God. There's almost nothing sexier than the Judgment. The only thing sexier than the Judgment card out of the major arcana is the High Priestess, in my opinion. Okay. The Five of Cups reverse, the Ten of Swords reverse, the Judgment. I mean, talk about a fucking win. I was talking to a client a couple of days ago on Hipsy. I'm not going to, obviously, I'm never going to tell her business, but there was a quote that I gave her. I got to bring it back. There was a quote that I gave her from Game of Thrones. And this is what this reminds me of. Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones was speaking to Jon Snow. And Jon Snow hated that he was a bastard. He hated it. He didn't want to talk about it. He got really, really offended when people would call him a bastard. And then Tyrion, who's a dwarf, knows all about being made fun of, right? For his shortcomings, pun intended. He said to Jon, he looked at him after Jon had gotten really upset about Tyrion calling him a bastard. And Tyrion said, "Never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor, and it can never be used to hurt you." That is exactly what this is. And you're going to get a chance to do that. And I don't even think you're afraid of it anymore, is what I want to say. It's this acceptance. It's this, I know exactly what I'm going to do with this. It's this accountability. It's this understanding. It's this answering God's call for the bigger picture, of what your life actually is, for the beauty of it, for the crumbling of something that is never going to be as beautiful as what you're getting ready to walk into. There's a lot of people here. King of Pentacles reverse, Queen of Swords, Empress reverse. You will not get to the top by undervaluing yourself and putting other people's value above your own. You're going to get through it, through this forest, so to speak, through logic and the wisdom that you've obtained through your past. You've been through this forest before, or you've been through a forest before, right? Like we were talking about. But this one may be different, but you still have the wisdom from the last ones. And I really need you to embrace your value. I need you to embrace your sense of worthiness and beauty, man or woman. And I need you to start building, not off of another's back, or don't let another build off of your back either, off of your wisdom and your grace. And if they are, they better be paying for it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what that, not like that, okay? But you know what I mean. So that is what I have for you, Virgo. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question, you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. And if you would like to learn tarot or you want to become a part of my VIP tarot mentorship, then you can do so by clicking this link that I put in the chat. What's up, Small TV? I love that you're here. It's nice to see you, darling. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Let's look at Leo. Okay, Leo. Let's see what you got going on. Queen of Cups in your energy. Love that. Beautiful. Page of Cups for what to expect. Some of you guys may be getting an offer. That King of Wands reversed for your advice. Ooh, who are you in love with? Or are you just sitting in your emotionally seductive sovereignty? I don't know, but damn, it looks good. Very creative, very sensitive, very in tune with your emotions this week. Looking beautiful, you know, or handsome, whatever. But I feel like you have somebody around you that is a little bit immature. Not quite the leader maybe that you want them to be. Somebody in their ego a bit. Okay, damn. Please listen. You're showing up as your major arcana. If you watch me for a while, you know what I think that that means. I think if you're showing up as your major arcana, I think you're showing up as your high vibrational self within reason. And to me, this is you being emotionally balanced. And it's not just because, like, oh, I was just born emotionally balanced. No, nobody is. I don't care what anybody says. I feel like you have really been through the ringer. I think that you're somebody who has been humbled quite a bit in your life, whether that's through trauma, whether that's through insults, whatever it is, just life experience in general. And I feel like that has really helped you build a very confident emotional structure within you. And so I think that you're making emotionally mature decisions. I don't think that you are giving into your weaknesses this week. If anything, I think that your emotions and your sense of vulnerability, being as balanced as it is your ultimate strength. It seems like to me, in my opinion, you're showing up as nearly the best that you can be. You're handling your shit well. You know, you're juggling things. You're doing what it is that you need to do. I mean, It seems very simple, but just because it looks simple doesn't mean that it did not come from a complex journey. Right? It's like we always see the picture of the woman or the man. They're on top of the mountain and they're throwing their hands up and it's like, "Oh my god, they climbed the mountain." Nobody ever sees the struggle up the mountain though, do they? That's kind of what I feel like is here. The Page of Cups, the Hangman reversed, the Five of Wands. What's that Five of Wands? The Knight of Wands reversed. I feel like this is somebody around you, in my opinion. Could be somebody younger. Could be just somebody that acts a bit younger. The Page of Cups and the Hangman in reverse reminds me of somebody who is a little bit delusional. They're not necessarily, especially with the Five of Wands, Knight of Wands in reverse, they're not very consistent. The things that they do is based around not earning, but getting validation from others or trying to draw attention to themselves by creating drama even, because sometimes people like this, they don't really care what kind of attention they get as long as the attention is on them. So and God, I love you Leo moons, but sometimes Leo moons do this. Like a low vibe Leo moon or a Leo moon who's just having a really bad day. Sometimes Leo moons will do this. Okay, no hate. But sometimes it'll happen. And I feel like it's because somebody here lacks the perspective or lacks a sense of humility or even lacks a reality check, really. I feel like this person may need a reality check. Shit, I probably need one, let's be honest. But it seems like that's where the conflict is coming because it almost feels like somebody who like now this is a very extreme version, okay, but maybe there's somebody who like cheated on you, right, and then like they never took accountability for it, but they're trying to come back and get your attention and act like nothing happened, and you're like, really, you're just going to try to like sweep that under the rug until one of us trips on it again? No thanks. So it feels like that, like somebody's just delusional about how they're approaching a situation. And you're pretty emotionally balanced, you're in your strength, you're in your sovereignty. So what's the advice? And King of Wands reversed, the Nine of Wands, and the Moon. So this is about keeping your boundaries high, protecting your emotions, listening to your gut instincts, especially when it comes to somebody who's kind of acting like a man child or a woman child, whatever gender you identify with, whoever this is. So it's telling you you can be loving and you can be the Queen of Cups and all of that stuff, but the Queen of Cups is not just about loving everybody else. She loves herself as well, and she loves herself enough to, or himself, enough to protect her boundaries. And that means that she would have to implement them. So it's asking you to implement them. Like, don't let somebody intimidate you, you know? So that is what I have for you, Leo. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question during this live, then you can do so by going to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. And if you guys would like to learn tarot, or if you would like to become a part of my VIP tarot mentorship, then you can click this link that I put in the chat. What's up, Davina? How are you doing? It's nice to see you. Hello, Leo Empress. All right, let's move on to Cancer. All right. I love this deck. Shout out to Carmen for this deck. This deck is incredible. Absolutely love this deck so much. All right, hold on. I actually have to pee. What's up, Kenneth? All right. I also got to get some water. What's up, Salma? I always drink out of this stupid cup. Valeria. Scared the shit out of her. Okay. Okay, Cancer. Let's see what's going on for you. Okay. Page of Pentacles. I like it. Doing that work. What to expect? Two of Cups reversed. Okay. I feel like you're learning something. 10 of Cups reversed for your advice. Well, you're definitely starting something new, whether that's a learning journey, a studying journey, building a business journey. I don't know, a relationship. Maybe you're trying to put an effort towards a relationship of some sort. You're trying to do something new, or you're trying to reinvent something potentially. But it seems like there's some kind of misunderstanding or some kind of disconnect between you and another person. So that 10 of Cups in reverse for the advice is making me wonder, like, are we over idolizing something, or do we need to build something more to make sense? Or do we need more romance in our life? Do we need more vulnerability? Let's see. Yeah, I told you. Page of Swords, excuse me, Page of Pentacles, Six of Swords reverse. So it's like maybe we're reinventing something from the past here. The Knight of Swords. I mean, you're going for it. So there's something that you were fussing with before, let's say that. And it can't be something business wise, but it's something tangible. It's you putting in practical steps towards something that you have previously moved on from. And now it seems like you're revisiting whatever that is, and you are really going for it now. So there's this energy of where you're slow and steady kind of wins the race. Am I doing this right? I'm putting in the work. I'm learning about something in regards to the past, maybe reinventing something, relearning something, reintegrating something into your life. And now you're fully going with it. You're getting very curious, and you're not just curious with your thumb up your ass. You're curious, like, I'm taking action towards this and I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to do the writing. I'm going to do the studying. I'm going to initiate the conversation, whatever it may be. So it just seems like there was something that had completed, right? 10 of Pentacles is before the Page of Pentacles. And now this is a new beginning point again, almost like the Ace of Pentacles, but not quite, because we've already been through that journey. So you've already been through this starting, ending phase. And now you're in this Page of Pentacles energy where you are getting ready to become the King or the Queen of Pentacles. So whether that's like the relationship of your dreams, becoming a business owner, whatever it is, but it's a journey that you've been on. Two of Cups reversed, Ace of Pentacles reversed, and the Two of Wands reversed. It may feel like you cannot get something off the ground because somebody else is not on the same page with you, or somebody doesn't really understand your vision, or you don't understand someone else's. So there's this energy of, how do we move on from this spot, or da da da. It's almost like this need to do something different than you've done before. But it seems like you're having a hard time because you're getting stuck on what was. So when we get stuck on what was and we fall back into doing things that we've always done or in the way that we've done them, we have a hard time rewiring our brain in order to make those conscious steps, because it's not conscious, it's subconscious. So in order to get out of that mind frame, we have to be conscious. We have to practice mindfulness. So for instance, right, and I know that I've probably used this before, but if we're feeling stressed out and without thinking, we just go and grab, a ho-ho from the pantry, or a lemon cake or whatever it is, that is likely a subconscious coping mechanism that we have for dealing with our stress or with our emotions, right? Like Moon and Tauruses would. Guilty. But if we like stop before we hit that pantry and we're like, okay, let me address the fact that I'm feeling like shit. Let me address the fact that I don't feel well or emotionally I'm dysregulated. Now, let me try to rewire my brain into doing something else. Maybe I pick up some dumbbells. Maybe I decide to take a walk. Maybe I decide to do some squats, whatever it is. So, in order to actually plant seeds that make sense, we're going to have to practice mindfulness. We're going to have to do something different in order to rewire our brain so that we don't keep repeating the same cycles. What is that High Priestess reversed? Okay. Yikes. So we have the Ten of Cups reversed, the High Priestess reversed, clarified by the Three of Cups, and then we have the King of Wands reversed. For some of you, if there's like some deception, like if you're hiding something around a third party or there are some secrets or something like that, I feel like your ego is attached to whatever that is if you're the King of Wands reversed. So it may be an energy of like not realizing that you're suppressing your potential by keeping these secrets or by living in your ego on a consistent basis. I think I just used this example recently. You seem to be, if you were this King of Wands reversed, you seem to be trying to build a happy home on top of the graveyard of the bones that you have buried because you're trying to hide them. And the ghosts will flourish. Like you're going to build on top of that, and like the cabinet doors are going to start opening by themselves at 3 o'clock in the morning, and this is not about ghosts. Okay. So this is a metaphor. This is like going to the gym, getting really, really dirty, and then not taking a shower and just putting deodorant on. You need to get in that shower, bud. You need to get in that shower, baby. You know what I mean? For others of you, if you're not this King of Wands reversed, ask yourself if you are ignoring your intuition for a facade that you have created in your mind or a fairy tale that you are trying to live that doesn't exist. And the best way that you can really live out this potential is by being confident in what your intuition is telling you. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Cancer. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question, you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. And if you want to learn tarot or you want to become a part of my VIP tarot mentorship, then you can click this link, which is right here in the chat. What's up, Johnny? No, we're getting there. Let's move on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, let's see what we got going on here. Okay. All right, Gemini, let's see your energy for this next week here. Six of Cups reversed. I'm just kidding. Six of Cups reversed. You may be kind of holding a grudge a little bit. Maybe a little upset, maybe with a friend, maybe with a lover, you know, could be past trauma, like childhood trauma that's kind of coming to the surface. I like the strength here. I feel like this is a support from a friend or a support from somebody in your life. It almost feels unexpected. The celestial weaver. Okay. This is about believing. This is about creation. What do you want to create? Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Wasn't that pretty? I love these cards. I love these cards so much. I love that Eight of Pentacles. So pretty. I love that Eight of Pentacles. That's gorgeous. And that star. Oh, look at those cards. I need to remember to freaking Lori, can you text me after this stream and can you please tell me to post those freaking cards for people? Because I know sometimes they ask. So, I mean, I like it. The Six of Cups in reverse, surrounded by the star and the Eight of Pentacles. You're taking something that felt a little crappy, or you're taking a bad memory and you're learning how to heal it and you're working on it. And it can't even be that you're sharing that trauma or you're sharing these negative feelings that you have with another person, or they're coming out in your work. For some of you, I feel like there's something that you do in your work that could be self-expressive, or it's almost like these memories or this pain or whatever it is like woven into your work in some way, like a poem or a screenplay or something that you're working on. And this is a part of that. And it's so that way you can express yourself in a healthy way. And there's such an accountability factor where you're taking such responsibility for your own healing and your sense of hope and your sense of creativity. And there's this part of you that's wanting to share it with the world or share it with another. And I mean, you're no slouch this week. You are really, really putting it into practice. You're putting something into practice. It's like work that feels healing to you, for you. For a small percentage of you, you can be doing something on social media, content creation, or you can be focused on something astrology based or science or technology based. Side note. Okay, well, there it is. Somebody's got your back this week. I don't feel like this is you, in my opinion. I don't feel like this is you. The Strength, the World reversed, and the Four of Swords reversed. So remember I told you, like, you're taking accountability for your own healing, you're focusing on it, you're working on it, whatever that means for you, right? Everybody heals differently. But I feel like there's somebody here that you're sharing something with, and they're being very supportive, especially in regards to past situations, past traumas, past hurts, even if it's like self-doubt that's getting you from stopping your own success or putting off your own success. You know, maybe your mom always told you, I don't know, maybe that your mom always body shamed you, but you always wanted to be a bodybuilder, right? But it was because of that shame that you were like, I want to be a bodybuilder, right? So it's like, even though that's a shitty way to be motivated, it still helped you in some way find your purpose, right? There's some kind of strength in that. There's something beautiful about being able to take something nasty that somebody else said to us or did to us and being able to turn it into or transmute it into something that works for us, because then what? Now imagine if we could do that with everything. We'd be unstoppable. But we have to allow these situations to penetrate us in the right way. And then when we have support like this, it can help us accomplish something greater, something bigger than ourselves. And then what does that do? All that's going to do is trickle down to the rest of the world and inspire everybody else when we can do something like this. And I feel like that's something that you're gearing towards. It's something that you're working towards, something that you're going to accomplish in due time, if not sooner than later. And I feel like people can see it. People can smell it on you. They see it on you. I feel like you're very valued in some way, like either by people of higher influence, or people are watching you or something like that, or they will. Don't avoid it. The Celestial Weaver, the Two of Swords, the Seven of Wands in reverse, don't avoid it. Don't get intimidated. Don't look at the whole entire ocean and feel like you have to swim the entire thing within a week. That's impossible. It's saying that the life that you want and the life that you're wanting to create, don't avoid it. Don't put it off any more than you already have. And this worry that you have, or this insecurity that you have of getting up there and not just succeeding but also maintaining your level of success, it can be yours. Just don't avoid it anymore. I feel like you've put something off for long enough, because this can be yours. This can be something that becomes very imperative for you, something that becomes bigger for you than just the idea or the thought in your head. I actually want to see something, because this is a special exclusive card just to this deck, and I really like this card. Um, and I want to reread what the Celestial Weaver says. So, power, manifestation, interconnectedness. Here is a power card for you today. This is a message for you to fully allow to sink in. Weave the fabric of your reality through your thoughts, intentions, and actions. Every thread you weave has a ripple effect in the universe. Wasn't I just talking about that? I didn't even think about that. Be mindful of your thoughts and intentions. They are what shall create a beautiful tapestry of life. You are part of a greater cosmic dance. Your existence is meaningful and interconnected with all that is, all part of the unifying field of consciousness. You are the weaver of your destiny, and with each movement you make, weave love, kindness, and harmony into the world around you. Remember, it's natural for you. So remember how I said, like, and it will trickle down and influence others? That, I feel, is what I was picking up on right there. So that is what I have for you, Gemini. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want to book a super chat question, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. If you would like to learn tarot or become a part of my VIP tarot mentorship, then you can do so by clicking right there, okay? What's up, Santiago? Let's look at Taurus. All right, Taurus, energy. 8 of Cups reversed. Okay. What to expect? The Hierophant reverse. That's your card. All right. And the Death reverse. There's a lot of past energy. Okay. There can be some settling. There can be weaving yourself back into illusions. There can be holding on to past traumas, past mistakes. There can be a refusal to change. There can be this my way or the highway. There can be rigid thinking. Okay. There can be a shaky foundation. But let's see. Ugh. Oh. Woo! 8 of Cups reversed, Queen of Wands reversed, and the 7 of Cups reversed. All reversals. So, Taurus, confidently, at one point you had moved on from something. You had walked away from something that you were like, yep, this is stupid. This is an illusion. And now what you're doing is you're going back to that thing, even though you were so confident in walking away from it before. And now you're coming back into that thing, and it's re-triggering some past emotions. It's re-triggering insecurities. It's re-triggering maybe some jealousies. It is triggering anger issues even. And it's going to make you're starting to care too much about what another person thinks, or you're starting to put a lot of weight into what others think. You're starting to feel shame about yourself, about your past, whatever it is. And and in my opinion, with that Eight of Cups in reverse, it's because you went back to something that had already triggered that in you, and now it's being re-triggered. Even though before you've been like, you know what, fuck this. And you walked away confidently, and now it's being re-triggered. And now you're being hit with that big old reality check branch. And you're like, why did I do this? You know? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It can just be that there's something from the past that is re-triggering those insecurities within you. And there's a reason why that happens. There's a reason why, because God is trying to get you to shed that part of yourself, or is trying to get you to become stronger through whatever those either insecurities are, jealousy issues, anger issues, etc. But it's a revisitation of what has already occurred. And I feel like this has occurred before. What's that? Seven of Cups reversed. The Ten of Pentacles reversed. It's like, yeah, this isn't going to work. There's no longevity in this. This doesn't make sense. This is not going to be in my life in 10 years. What the fuck am I doing here? Damn. Taurus. Once again, Hierophant reverse, Ten of Swords reverse, Five of Cups. It's that energy of, even though this does not align with my morals, my values, even though this does not make sense, even though this is not a part of who I am, there's a refusal to learn something, acknowledge something, and take it for what it is, or for who it is, whatever it is. And you keep trying to relive it. And then the more that you keep trying to relive it, the more that you feel like you've been punishing yourself. You're going to feel more like you're punishing yourself. And then you're back into the cycle of regret until you have to reach the point of the Queen of Wands and the Eight of Cups in the upright. We're like, yeah, fuck that. And we confidently move on again. But it's this energy of, how many times am I going to have to pick up the pieces? Because I've settled. Because it seems like life is trying to teach you not to settle. It seems like life is trying to teach you not to give a fuck, or at least to give less of one. But you keep wandering back into the I give a fuck too much fairy forest. And then you wonder why you're back at the same place that you were a year ago, 2 months ago, whatever it is. So your advice is a hard one. Damn, Taurus, I'm not going to lie. You got the biggest ass slap today. Okay. Death reversed, Judgment reversed, the Lovers. The Lovers comes after the Hierophant. Okay. So why? The Hierophant is like, what are our morals? What are our values? What do we believe in? Because this is the makeup of who we are to a big extent. It might be the boring makeup, but it is the makeup. It is truly who we are. And then once we know what that means, we can better connect with ourselves and make decisions from those viewpoints, from those values, from those morals. Not only that, but when we have that with a partner, when we have the Hierophant, we're like, oh yeah, those are my morals and my values. Okay, we can actually build a foundation on those things, or on this, because those are the fundamental building blocks for a relationship. And then that's when we can take it to the next level, which is the Lovers. This is where we connect on a higher plane. This is where we make bigger commitments. This is when we're totally vulnerable and intimate. This is when we become truly interlinked. But you keep ignoring the truth, ignoring your own truth, not taking accountability sometimes for your own actions. And it's because you're having a hard time accepting the truth, either of another or of yourself. And it will keep feeling like a rope tied to your ankle on the back of a truck, with you being drug on the back on a dirt road at 60 miles per hour until you make the choice. I know that sounded crappy. What is the good stuff coming towards Taurus this week? That's what I'll say. Ace of Swords. You're going to have a very clear, cut, concise conversation or truth bomb moment that is going to give you a lot of clarity. That's what I will say. So that is what I have for you, Taurus. Thank you so much. I hope that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want to book a super chat question with me during this live, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. If you would like to learn tarot and become a part of my VIP tarot mentorship, then you can go ahead and click on this link right here in the chats. Aw, Simon, I'm sorry. I hope I said that right. Oh, you're so welcome, Davina, of course. What's up, Brooklyn? Hi. All right, there. Let's go ahead and move on to Aries. All right, Aries, let's see. Okay, I like it. Got some Virgo in here. Okay, we got the Hermit. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse for what to expect. And the Five of Swords in reverse for your advice. Okay. A deep sense of self-awareness and truth. You're on a journey. It could feel like a little bit of a dark night of the soul journey, or it could just feel like you just want to be alone, or you need some time alone. You're looking for something. You're trying to find it. It's in you. You already have it. You may think that you don't have it, or you're still looking for it, or you don't know which part of yourself to work on, or blah, 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 blah. But you're going to find it this week. You're going to figure it out this week. And then when Venus goes into your sign, you'll be a happy camper, I feel. So, but it could feel like something's not getting off of the ground. You know, you can feel like you're being a little bit too hard on yourself. Double Virgo energy here. So Virgo energy can be incredibly critical of self more than anything, but critical nonetheless. So I'm not sure what that Five of Swords in reverse is saying yet. So let's go ahead and clarify the energy. The King of Pentacles reversed. Ooh. The Phoenix reversed. So this isn't going to be for everybody, okay? That King of Pentacles in reverse, if that is you, if you are the masculine here, because it's showing up as a masculine read. Okay, so if this is you, what I want to say is you putting your identity or your sense of success on everybody else's back because you don't know who you are yet, or because you're refusing to change, or because you're afraid to kind of burn yourself to the ground in order to rebuild, in order to come back as the Phoenix, right? It's actually stopping you from your biggest level of success. And I think that you're realizing that. I think that you're realizing that you may have put too much weight on other people's words. You may have put too much weight on or responsibility on other people to make you successful, even if that's just like, oh, I need this person to validate me in the bedroom so I can feel better about myself. Or, you know, and what it's actually doing is keeping you in this weird comfort zone, which is not allowing you to change. And so it's this energy of you keep trying to find it over here and over here and over here. And oh, maybe this person will have the answers. Maybe this person will get me to where I need to go. Maybe when it's really just about you, it's not about anybody else. There's a purification process that needs to happen here. But I feel like a lot of it is in the way that you think. It's in the way that you think about yourself or you see yourself. Who said that you can't do it alone? Who said that you are not enough? Who said that you couldn't be the leader, right? But that's going to take accountability. That's going to take responsibility for self. That's going to take acknowledgement, not just of our own positive qualities, but of our flaws as well. If we don't know our flaws, we truly don't understand ourselves, and we surely can't lead ourselves if that's the case. You know what? I just got a message. You don't like relying on your own understanding about yourself, or you have a hard time counting on yourself because of how you talk about yourself to yourself. So you're like, I'm hoping somebody can invalidate the horrible things that I say about myself inside of my brain so I don't have to. And the only way that you are really going to be able to do that is by being mindful, yes, But if, like, let's say that you drink a lot. Okay, let's say that you drink a lot and you're like, God, I'm just a fat lazy piece of shit that drinks all the time. Wah. Right? And then you say that to other people and they're like, "Oh, that's not true. You know, you're wonderful." You know, but it's like maybe you really do drink all the time, right? Okay. So, accept that now. Okay? You can accept that. But if you just keep accepting it, now it has become your truth. So now what are you going to do about it? Cuz that's fine. If you want to say that to yourself and it's not motivating you, you're just being a cruel master. You're not trying to uplift yourself with any kind of actual change. You're just either you're looking for sympathy, you're looking for somebody else to tell you that you're a good girl, good boy, when it's really in your hands. And maybe it's that you need to do this with love. Maybe it's that you need to do it with love instead of, because we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Tower reversed, and the Ace of Cups. So maybe it's actually that you need to do it with love. And maybe after this reading, you're like, you know what, maybe I will. And what is that going to look like? Okay. So instead of talking to yourself like, wow, I'm a fat, drunk, lazy piece of shit, you can say, you know, because of my trauma that I want to ignore because it's going to make me look at myself, I need to be honest that now, because of this, I have developed a negative coping mechanism, which is drinking, which in turn leads to a bunch of other health and physical problems, which is why I feel overweight or I don't feel good about myself. And now I know that I need to rewire my mind by mindfulness, by making the right decisions that I know is going to get me out of that narrative in my own brain. Instead of being like, oh, I'm just a fat lazy piece of shit on a first date with somebody. And they're like, oh, no, I didn't think that about you. And it's like, you know, so maybe do it with love. Do it with love and understanding as opposed to whipping yourself on the back like some kind of weird sacrilege, like, you know? Five of Swords reversed, Page of Swords reversed, Page of Cups. With love, like I said. So the stories that you make up about yourself in your brain, I want you to say it like that. There's this therapist, his name's John Maloney, and he was talking to this, I think it was a husband, and the husband like made a lot of assumptions about his partner, right? And then they would get in a huge fight. And so John Maloney said, listen, this is how I approach my wife when I'm assuming something negative about her. Now you have to apply this to self. He would start the conversation when he had a problem by saying, the story that I make up about myself, the story that I make up about you in my own head is da 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 da. Instead of saying, well, you did this, right? So instead of being like, I'm a fat, drunk, lazy piece of shit, right? If you have those thoughts, you say, the story that I make up about myself in my head are these things. But really, you have to do what's the real root of the problem? And why do I feel like I have to talk to myself like this, you know, or whatever it is? But I think that you need to take a bit of a gentler approach when it comes to you because some of you really beat yourself up. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Aries. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want to learn tarot or if you want to become part of the VIP Tarot Mentorship Program, then you can click the link that I just put in the chat box. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do, whoops. Let's go ahead and do answer super chat questions. Oh, you're welcome, Shannon. All right. And if you guys want to book a super chat question before I log off, you can do so still at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. I'm going to do these now. All right. Oh, wow. Look at these beautiful ladies. Thank you for the picture. All right, we got Delilah. Hello, I'm Delilah, and the way you can help me is I had a little small altercation with one of my friends. She thought when I saw her, I didn't see her, like I was ignoring her. And when I chased her and asked her, is she okay? And she said I'm acting weird, that I act like I didn't see her, but in reality, I didn't see her. I care because I don't want my character to be destroyed, but then I don't care because I'm at that point in my life that if we fall out, oh well, it is what it is. So my question is, how does she feel? And is she going to come talk to me? Let me see. I feel like she's making it maybe a little bit of a bigger deal than it needs to be with the 10 of Wands reversed and the 9 of Cups reversed. And it could be coming from a place of ego or a sense of selfishness in some way. Okay. It could be that she was just intoxicated, maybe. Okay. If she does drink or something like that with that 9 of Cups in reverse. But if it's not that, it just seems like she's being. The 9 of Cups in reverse can be a little bit silly. Okay. It can be just a little bit selfish, right? It can be a little bit selfish and it tends to pull away. It's Jupiter and Pisces. It tends to pull away or go into isolation mode a little bit when it does that. So I feel like it's probably that she's making a bigger deal than what it is, but she feels like she didn't get something that she wanted from you. She may even know that she's making it a bigger deal than what it actually is. Is she going to come and talk to you? The Eight of Swords in reverse, at least with where she's at now, something may change. I hope that it does. But with the Eight of Swords in reverse and the Six of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like this is somebody that has made their decision that they're pulling their energy back. The Six of Pentacles in reverse can sometimes show up when we're not giving to something anymore. And it can either be because we're trying to take advantage of another person. Okay, so maybe she's trying to guilt trip you a little bit, trying to once again make it a bigger deal than it is. Or it can be that she's just like, well, I don't feel valued, and she's pulling back the energy. Honestly, I know you didn't ask for my opinion, but if it's something as silly as this and she's willing to lose a friendship over it, it feels more like it could be around her ego a little bit, or maybe she feels like she needs attention in some way. I don't think she's handling it very well with that 9 of Cups in reverse and the 10 of Wands in reverse, because it does feel like she's making something a bit of a bigger deal than it needs to be. So if it were me, I would just simply like let her cool off. And if she decided that eventually she wanted to come talk to me, then great. But I'm not going to like crawl across glass, right, to get her to believe me that I actually didn't see her. So try not to be too hard on yourself about it, okay? And thank you so much. And obviously, I hope it all works out, Delilah. I'm sure that it will. Thinking of you and sending you big virtual hugs. We have my girl Karina. I know I got you. No reading out loud. I already know the business. Okay, let's see. Okay. Why is he. Wait, what's this? So it's like good and bad news for me. Okay. So on one hand, I asked what are his intentions with this, right? You have the temperance and the empress. I do believe that he thinks that you are the creme de la creme in some way. I do believe that he wants balance and connection within the relationship. But I also feel like he wants you to get in your head a little bit. And I don't know if this is just because he views you as the empress, which is all of the queens combined. So I don't know if he just wants you to feel like you need to prove something to him in order to knock you down a peg. Okay. Because the Nine of Pentacles in reverse is like, well, I need to prove my worth to somebody else by doing, so I don't know. It feels like he wants you to prove yourself in some way and kind of get you in your head a little bit about him. But I think it's because he views you as the Empress. So to him, I think that this would be like, I don't want to say an ego boost, but a little. Don't let him let you second guess yourself. It feels a tiny bit manipulative, but it's because he really wants you. That's my opinion with the Temperance and the Empress. So that's what I have for you, Karina. Thank you so much. I love you. I'm sending love your way. All right. Ash, please don't share. Got it. Okay. So you want me to pull cards for yes or no for number 1 and yes or no for number 2 is how I'm seeing that. So let me see. I hope I'm getting that right. Mm. Number 1, you have the Devil with the 7 of Pentacles reverse. I think it's a powerful choice, but it may not hit in the way that you want it to. I think the Devil is good, but I don't like the 7 of Pentacles reversed. It almost feels as though people, for some reason, it's almost like the title that they relate to the content that's in the book. It's almost as if they don't feel like it goes, or they end up becoming less invested or something like that. It almost feels like it didn't meet an expectation. I don't know if that makes sense. The Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So number 2 is it's a title. It is a title. I think that is, in my opinion, I feel like it's the way to go. Um, one more for that. Hmm. I would say the second one. Because I feel like it reels people in. I feel like it's going to reel people in, and I feel like it's the more powerful choice. And not only do I feel like it's the more powerful choice, but I feel like the title is going to coincide with the contents better for some reason. That's what I think. So I'm going to say the second one. I had to pull some extra cards for that one. Thanks a lot, Ash. I appreciate it. Love that. I actually really like number 2, honestly. It's very like, wait, what? All right, we have 72XCR. Okay. They want me to read silently, just FYI. I feel like you would be right. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, 7 of Swords reverse, the Sun. I still feel like there's a happiness here. There may be something that he gets off on when it comes to more of like a selfish ego. The Seven of Swords in reverse is more so when we're talking about what is good for us, not necessarily what is good for everyone else. And he may understand that this makes you feel insecure in some way, or makes you feel some kind of way like discomfort, or makes you feel less valuable, or a lack of self-worth or self-value. And that may very well be his intention. He may even feel guilty about it at some point, but not enough to stop. With the sun there, it makes me feel like it's more of a happiness for him as opposed to a happiness for you, because not only just the meaning of the cards, but you'll see the Queen of Pentacles. You see how she's like looking away. Seven of Swords in reverse is guilty, selfishness sometimes. And then the sun is there, which is more about self. But the Queen of Pentacles is in reverse. It's almost like the feminine doesn't really matter. I don't know if he just feels like you're not taking care of yourself, or he just feels like you're mean for whatever reason, but I feel like that probably would be the reason with what you told me. So it seems a little selfish, but it's something that makes him happy. I don't know if this is like a weird dom sub thing that he has. I don't know if this is like a power play kind of thing. I'm not sure, but it feels like it's definitely more for him, just like you said, than it is for you. Does he, okay. See the second question now. No, I don't think so. For your second question, I don't think so. The Four of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups. Nope. I don't think so. This is like happy home, saving. He may be holding back on his emotions, but I think that he benefits from your emotions. I do think it's mutual. I just think he's being selfish. I think that like if it were me, well, you know what, let me just pull advice and let me shut my mouth. Justice, Six of Wands in reverse. Why don't you stop giving him the more of what he doesn't appreciate? Stop giving it attention. Now, if you have already discussed this with him and it's still continuing, well, we're done here, you know? So start pulling away. Stop showering him with what he doesn't already appreciate. You know, a little karmic justice never hurt anybody. It is a full moon in Libra tomorrow, right? Just saying. I'm thinking of you. That's a crappy feeling. Thank you so much, 72. Oh my God, I got to pee so bad. Oh my God, I got to pee so bad. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. We got my girl Wander Tarot. She says, I'm over here definitely picking scabs during all these transits. Okay. I am attempting someone who does not have or has made boundaries for himself. What is he not saying that I should probably know? Okay. What is he not saying about himself? That's what I want to know. I think that there's a lot of inner conflict. It almost feels like somebody who, how do I put this? It almost feels like somebody who's blocked by their own ego. I think that this is a wound that they've held for a while. Like the Five of Wands is when we're fighting endlessly for absolutely nothing. Like we have this internal conflict or we're creating external conflict. Why? Eight of Wands in reverse, Three of Swords in reverse. There's some kind of issue around feeling blocked from his own sense of masculinity or his own sense of confidence in some way for whatever reason. I don't know if it's like an inner voice in his head. I don't know if it's like he has his mother or if his father in his head negatively or what it is, but it's this constant like subconscious uh s- seeking of drama or some kind of how do I explain it? It's almost like looking for a problem. And I don't know if he just does this with you, like externally, or if he does this within himself. But there's this constant push and pull and this constant conflict because he feels like he's having to force through some kind of trauma or pain that he hasn't worked through. So, for instance, the best way I can explain this is if, let's say he was like, cuckolded by his ex-wife or something, right? And so now he's become a part of the red pill community and now he has to figure out a way to feel more of a man without actually doing the things that a man would do, right? Without humbling himself, understanding his own flaws, his own weaknesses. And so there's this constant internal narrative of being cuckolded, and this is always a thing in his mind, and so now he's having to combat that constantly. And now, so what does that show up as? That shows up as he needs to prove himself that he's a man, right? And I'm not saying that that's what it is, but it's connected to some kind of past situation that he is constantly having conflict within himself about. um The Hangman reverse, the Three of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands in reverse, it really makes me feel like there's this energy of him feeling like you won't let something go. And he may feel like you won't let something go because you want to get on the same page or because you're wanting to learn more about him. But he may feel like you're not so confident in that, or you're feeling quite frustrated because you feel like you can't express yourself in some way, or you feel like you can't get something out of him. And he feels like you don't have all of the facts or you don't have the perspective or you're not willing to let go of something specifically. And I'm not sure what that's about. Your advice in regards to this person or the situation. Mm. So I do want to say this, Wander. With the Five of Pentacles, the Magician in reverse, and the Nine of Swords in reverse, if this is somebody who may project onto you sometimes, or their actions or inactions are invalidating you, or you're allowing them to invalidate you or make you question your own sense of self-worth or your own talents, gifts, skills, abilities, whatever it is, if it's driving you crazy, don't be afraid to like take space. Don't be afraid to take space and kind of regroup and reevaluate, because it may not even be that you're the problem. And I think that we all are a little bit of the problem in all of our relationships. But I really want to say, don't allow this person to create or plant those seeds of self-doubt in your brain if that is a thing. Now, it can be because he could be blocking your manifestations, right? Or whatever. Now, on the other side of things, this may be telling you that this is somebody who may have very deep abandonment wounds, very deep insecurities where it's causing them to consistently doubt themselves. And when we do that, sometimes we, like you were saying, right? We can become more boundaryless, okay? And so I feel like this is telling you that this may, and while I'm not a therapist or a psychologist or anything like that, this may be more of a psychological issue in regards to this person. And it may show up in his ego in some way, or it may be showing up in regards to some kind of internal conflict that he has within himself. So I guess the best way that I can explain this with that Two of Pentacles in reverse is don't bite off more than you can chew with this person. Like, don't make this person's problems your problems, especially if it comes to like you feeling like this person is wearing you thin to a point, or you're feeling like you have to mommy this person, or it's, we can all learn stuff from each other, but if it starts to feel like this person is like your child, for instance, or you know what I mean, it may be a time where you're like, hey, listen, I really need you to take care of this on your own, because as an adult woman, I can't like take care of this for you, or I really need you to like go to therapy, or whatever the thing is. So if he's boundaryless, okay, if he's boundless, it may be because he's feeling like maybe if he puts up boundaries, he's afraid you're going to leave or abandon him or something like that. Thank you so much, Wander. I really appreciate you. All right, we got, oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and shuffle these really quick. You're welcome, Paticus. You're welcome, Jamie. You're welcome, Wander. I hope that helped. I don't know if that made sense. What's up, Delilah? You're so welcome. It totally made sense. Okay. I never want to disappoint you, girl. Thank you. I hope it works out. Long distance relationships are so hard. They're really, really hard. So I got to give it to you for putting your sword in there. Okay. Woo, we're looking a little drunk, aren't we? The hair is a damn mess. Okay. All right there. Playboy Bunny, how is Marvin feeling for me currently? This Marvin got you by the boobies. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh. He may have fears around intimacy with that Five of Cups, Ace of Wands, or there may be some regret around some kind of past issue, or maybe not taking initiative like he should. But it seems like there's a little bit of sadness, like either he regrets something, or he feels bad, or he just maybe misses you or misses your intimacy in some way. But it seems like why is the Five of Cups there? The Three of Wands in reverse. He may have had some kind of expectation from you that he feels like was not fulfilled. So I don't know if he like expected a call, or expected you to say something, or expected you to initiate some kind of intimacy or something, but he seems a little sad. What does he want? The Nine of Wands in reverse. If you have your guard up in some kind of way, or you guys have been arguing, he may want you to like let that guard down, or it's that he wants you to give in to something. Wonder what that could be. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks a lot, Playboy Bunny. I really appreciate it. Oh, I keep forgetting to ask you guys to give me a rating on freaking Hipsy. All right. India, how do they really feel about me now? The Knight of Cups reversed with the moon really makes me feel like this is somebody who is maybe hiding some things. I'm going to clarify that in just a second. But the Knight of Cups in reverse likes to show up when sometimes we're idolizing something or we want to be idolized. But the Knight of Cups in reverse isn't necessarily authentic. It doesn't always necessarily know what he or she wants. The Knight of Cups in reverse can be a bit wishy-washy, a bit manipulative. The moon tells me that there may be certain emotions that we're suppressing or certain things that this person may be hiding. And I was like, well, what is this person's opinion of India? And I got the Fool and the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So this is somebody that feels like you want to jump into something, or even that you may just be, if this is like something where you're like, yeah, I'm done, goodbye, and like you told this person to F off, basically, this person may feel like you want to come out of some kind of maybe abandonment wound that you had, or if you are constantly feeling rejected by this person, you want to come out of that. You want to travel light. You want to unload the bricks that are in your backpack that you've been uh, carrying for a while. Or if this is somebody that you're trying to make moves on, this can be somebody who feels like you really want to jump all in. What is that moon? The Knight of Wands, tell me more. The Four of Wands, okay. I feel like truly, under the surface, I think that this person truly wants passion and fun. The Four of Wands, yes, I know that some people say twin flames. I don't believe in twin flames. Doesn't mean that they don't exist. Doesn't mean that they don't exist, but I don't believe in them. So, but if you believe in them, then that's great. But the moon, for what this person may be suppressing or hiding or even fearing in some way, is really taking action towards that next step. I think that there's passion here. There may even be some deep emotions this person is not even necessarily aware of, but I feel like the bigger picture they may try to hide from themselves in some way, or there's something that keeps this person bonded inside of their own fears or self-deprecation or subconscious, like negative subconscious emotions. The Knight of Wands and the Four of Wands makes me feel like this person is a bit of a partier, maybe. Um, what do they want with India? The Page of Pentacles in reverse. Can I get one more for that? The Star reversed. I mean, the Page of Pentacles in reverse is like we're not really putting in a whole lot of effort here, especially in regards to our own healing, or especially in regards to sharing what it is that we're feeling or that we're thinking. And so this is causing us to kind of lack hope in some way. So I don't know if this person is really going to put in the effort that they truly need in order to have a healthy, loving relationship or a healthy connection or a healing connection. It seems like they're more focused on putting off some level of healing by engaging in things that are not healing for them. Your advice about this person. I'll pull one more. Ask yourself, if this is a person that you feel like has put a lot of blame on you or has scapegoated you in some way, and then you show up still forgiving, still loving. So ask yourself how many times you're willing to betray yourself just so this person can continue to betray you. And how does that feel with the double homicide? Like, how does that feel with the double betrayal, you know? And the Lovers in reverse is also asking you to question the Four of Cups in reverse. Why am I feeling sorry for myself about maybe somebody I know is not on the same page with me already or doesn't have the same morals or values as I do? It's asking you to question that. It's asking you to question the foundation of something before ultimately giving to it anymore. Okay, if that's something that you feel like you need to do. Thank you so much, India. I really appreciate you, and I hope all is well, and I hope that you will give me a rating on Hipsy to let me know how I did. All right. We have Bryn. This seems hefty, so I don't want to read it out loud because it seems very personal, okay? So we have Bryn Lazarus. Today's society does truly fucking suck. It does so bad. I hate it here. um Oh, I love you too. Okay. Let me see. All right. Gotcha. All right. Let's do it. Ooh, okay. I guess the first thing that I need to understand is about him. What does he want from this? What's that devil? Okay. So, what he wants from this is the Nine of Swords reversed, the King of Pentacles, the devil. The world is clarifying the devil. It makes me feel like this person may have not been super self-reliant in the past, or there may have been a lot of worries in the past when it comes to this person individually, when it comes to finances and stability. I don't know if this person grew up in an unstable home. I don't know if this person just doesn't make that much money. I don't know if they just don't make much as you, or there's something about stability. And so I think this person very much craves that level of stability. And so I think what they want from this is stability. So I don't know if it's that they're providing it or if it's more financial stability. And the reason why I say financial is because it's the King of Pentacles. And then when we put the devil on top of that, which is, so now we not only have Taurus, okay, which is about making money and self-worth and self-value, and sometimes that can be tied to that. But then we also have the devil, which is Capricorn, which is another earth sign. And I know that you've been watching tarot for a while. It can be that the pentacle energy is quite literally about not just money, but about stability. It's about we want a home, and we want a bed to sleep in, and etc. And the world tells me that this is Saturn. Well, what does Saturn rule? Saturn rules Capricorn with respect to Aquarius as well. But Saturn is the worldly realm. It already kind of is the devil, right? Because the devil is Capricorn. So putting that all into perspective, this is somebody who what they want from this is power. I'm not saying in an unhealthy way per se. The rest of the cards look pretty positive, but the devil can be about sex, intimacy, power. But being that the world clarifies it, it makes me feel like this person wants that worldly success. They want to hit the finish line, whatever that may mean for them. And so the King of Pentacles makes me feel like this is somebody who very much values financial stability. Um, so I asked how he is feeling for you because I thought that was also important. And I have the Fool reversed, the Knight of Cups reversed, and the Two of Pentacles. So the Fool in traditional Rider-Waite tarot, well, just, I mean, in any deck really, but it's about the pure spirit of something. It's the potent energy of I want to begin, and I'm pure going into it. I'm not jaded by anything. I'm ready. I have a trust fall here. But it's in reverse. So it makes me feel like there's an energy of him not really trusting at all to jump in, and it can be because of the Knight of Cups reversed. So the Knight of Cups reversed can certainly be a level of immaturity coming from this person, or a level of, I don't really know what I want, or I don't know if my heart is totally in it, which can show up as like a lack of vulnerability maybe on his part, or being disingenuous. And the Two of Pentacles, there's that pentacle energy again, is he's in this energy of, I'm not feeling super pulled in my vulnerable state towards this, but I am balancing it. It's like I'm maintaining what already is, but I'm not going all in. Why? The 8 of Pentacles, pentacle energy again. He may feel like this is a lot of work, or it will be more work, or he may not be ready to put in the full work. So there may be certain, like you said, sacrifices or commitments that he knows that he's willing to or needs to work on in order to have this, and he just may not be super motivated to do that. So the 8 of Pentacles in traditional Rider-Waite tarot, you're going to see that the guy is like really like hunkering down on these freaking pentacles. And in the background, you're going to see this town way in the background, which means he kind of has to shut everything else out in order to work on this. So it makes me feel like he's not really willing to do that, shut out this town or whatever that may be for him. So what are you supposed to do here? Well, let's see. The Nine of Wands is asking you to fight for what it is that you believe. Maybe not necessarily fight for this, but what are your boundaries? What are you willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept? It's Moon in Sagittarius, you know? And so now we're combining the Nine of Wands with Mars and Capricorn, but it's reversed. And so do you feel like you guys are just not on the same page? Do you feel like this person isn't really taking heed of your advice or what it is that you're trying to build here? So the Nine of Wands is asking you to stand up to whatever that may be. Do you feel like this person is condescending, or do you feel like he's not with it? And so it's asking you to, yeah, be inspired by that. It may be asking you to start brand new. And sometimes that's really difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to start brand new because we're so invested in what already is. And the longer that we stay invested in the thing that's not really invested in us, the more that we find ourselves drained. So if you're in a relationship where you're constantly feeling like you are giving and giving and giving and you're putting in so much effort and it just feels like this person is sitting here and accepting all of it, I need you to trust that. I need you to trust and believe that, because I don't want you to wake up in 5 years and you're still in the same position. And now you're like, well, fuck, now I'm, you know, 40 whatever. And now I'm like, why am this guy is eating potato chips on my couch and, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to be really pissed because you're like, damn, I really invested even more of my time just to be in the same place. And while I'm not saying that it's not possible, you can only, right? It's like that saying, you can only lead the horse to the water. You can't force him to drink. And so this Ace of Wands and this Queen of Swords in reverse for your advice, this is like, don't allow this inspire you to keep fighting for something that you're losing at. Allow this to inspire you to make logical decisions and take the wisdom that you've already acquired, not just from past relationships. I know a little bit about your history, but also from this one, and applying it. So for however long this has been going on, what change have you really seen? And I'm not talking about emotionally. I'm not talking about mentally. I'm asking what tangible results have you actually seen, and make decisions on that, not on the promise, not on the idea, on the action, you know? So I'm thinking about you, babe. I know you've been dealing with us for a minute, but I'm definitely thinking about you. Just try to take heed of what I said, okay? Thank you, my darling. She said, just give me a full reading live. Oh, I just want to give her a big hug. Thank you so much, Bryn. Let's see. Now we have Faye. Hey, V, whatever comes out, thank you, love, absolutely, for one of my favorite Tauruses. All right, let's see. You're gonna have a little bit of a difficult decision to make. Either when it comes to your education, religious, spiritual beliefs, or when it comes to potentially a relationship, or really what you want in a relationship. But it's asking you to choose differently than what you usually do, or you're needing to make a decision based around whatever that is. Tell me about that Two of Wands reversed, Five of Cups reversed. Mm. You're going to get some kind of communication. I feel like that Hierophant is probably just you. It definitely feels like you're going to get some kind of communication from somebody from the past, and in regards to forgiving someone. So the Two of Wands in reverse tells me that there's a decision that you're probably having a hard time making because it's going to cause you to come out of your comfort zone, or it's going to cause you to let go of your past. So for instance, maybe it's not necessarily some kind of contact from the past or some kind of communication from somebody from the past, but maybe more so it's a chance for you to let go of the past in order to move forward. And so the Two of Wands in reverse is like, I'm a little afraid. I don't want to move. I don't really want to, right? But that Five of Cups in reverse is clarifying it. So it tells me it's about either forgiveness or it's about taking a shitty scenario and turning it into something that's going to work for you, turning it into something positive. And the Hierophant just makes me feel like that's you. I feel like you're certainly standing in your sovereignty. I mean, you know that you've been watching me for a while. So if you're showing up as your major arcana, to me, that's very empowering. It tells me that you're in your power. So it almost makes me wonder if you are sticking to your guns in a situation, more so than staying in your comfort zone. And with that Eight of Wands, it seems like when it comes to you and who you are on a fundamental level, when it comes to maybe some kind of education, maybe when it comes to traveling, you may be deciding to travel within the next couple of months. Or there's some kind of communication that you're having with somebody else in regards to a relationship, but that may require some level of forgiveness that could be hard for you. So whether this is a romantic relationship or a familiar relationship, a friendship, but I feel like you're in your power and I want you to kind of own that in the next few months here. Get some advice. Ooh. I heard act within your conscience. Um, it can be possible that you or somebody else can be holding a grudge here. Okay. And I don't know who this is. It can be something in regards to your childhood as well. But the Ten of Swords in reverse for your advice is like, what are we holding on to that's not allowing us to move forward or that's not allowing us to evolve? What kind of injustices are we holding on to that is making us backtrack or making us stay in the same place? The Six of Cups is making me feel like you need to think about something more positively, and I know that's really difficult to say, especially when it comes to some kind of injustice, but that's the only way you're going to be able to transform a specific situation. I almost feel like you need to make a definitive decision about somebody or about something in your past. Wheel of Fortune reverse, Page of Swords, Ace of Cups. All righty. So once again, I mean, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is it's a repetitive cycle. I hate to keep talking about it, but for some reason this seems to be very prevalent in your reading, but the Wheel of Fortune is a repetitive cycle, and it can be where the reason why we can't get past that repetitive cycle is because we're trying to control it, or we're trying to control some kind of narrative, or because we're hanging on to some kind of narrative about it. The Page of Swords with the Ace of Cups is asking for a fresh perspective and an empathetic or compassionate perspective on some kind of occurring circumstance in your life. And so that's hard for me to say because I don't know what it is and it can be a very touchy subject. So I get nervous about giving advice like that because I don't know what it is. You know, you may be totally in the right of telling somebody to fuck off or whatever. But so it's kind of asking you to have a fresh perspective about something. Now this can also be asking you to stop revisiting the past, and it may be telling you to make something of it. So that's what I have for you, Faith. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. We got my girl Karina. Okay. I'm not gonna read it out loud. Okay. Let me see. The Empress again. If in a different deck. He knows your worth. He's hoping on you not knowing yours. He knows your worth. He's hoping, because this is the thing, okay? Now, this isn't for everybody, but sometimes if there's two people and they're trying to make something happen, sometimes if the other person is not healed and they put the other person on a pedestal or they view this person as, let's say, better than them, right? Then they will sometimes, instead of attempting to evolve, they will sometimes try to do certain things to cut this person down or to get them to lower their price or think of themselves in a less attractive manner, I guess you could say, so that way they won't have to step it up. Because if I feel less than you and I can get you to feel like you feel less than me, then that means I get to fall back. And that means that you'll come to me second guessing your sense of self worth and self value. Now, how do you think that's going to make me feel about myself, being that I think you're better than me? Yeah, look who's chasing me. A person that truly loves you will not knock you down to make you feel bad about yourself. They will lift you up and in turn do the work so that way they don't bring you down with them. For your second question. So yes, your answer is yes for that first one. Yes, that's what that person is trying to do. For your second question, there's a sense of determination here, but it seems like he's taking a sweet ass time. But there's a lot of bass in that voice, metaphorically. Like whatever that was, it seems like he feels very motivated, but he's trying to stifle it or he's trying to move slowly. I feel like this person is very concerned with how he comes at you. Almost feels calculated. Thank you, Karina. I love you. All right, we have Kaiser. How does my Pisces view me and what does she want out of this connection? Let me see how this person sees you. Oh, okay. They feel like you are the Kaiser of their dreams. This person feels like they know what their choice is, and it may very well be you. This is somebody who feels like you are the epitome of what they feel like they could have when it comes to emotional connection. That could be uh ongoing, long going, something that could last a long time. So, I mean, this is somebody who basically sees you as relationship material, in my opinion. Let's see. Oh, she wants a healing awakening, or this person, this Pisces wants she wants a healing awakening from this. She wants to understand her purpose. She wants healing from you. She wants healing within the connection. She may want you to heal. There's accountability here. There's big decisions. There's a reconciliation of the self, of the heart, of the mind. This is what she wants. This is beautiful. She wants to be able to make decisions from a healed place with this, and vice versa with you. So I think that looks great. Not mad at it all. Thanks a lot, Kaiser. If you wouldn't mind leaving me a review on Hipsy, I'd be grateful. We have Jennifer. Okay. Since the interviews, this company I've been waiting on will be offering me a position next week. So ready for this new beginning. I feel like it's around the corner. So I know that is what's making me feel anxious. Okay. Ace of Swords in reverse makes me feel like they're not really sure yet. Why? Knight of Swords reverse. They may feel like they don't have all of the information, or they may feel like they haven't looked at the rest of the people, I guess you could say, the other applicants. So they're not really sure. They don't really know because they don't have enough information. Is essentially what that is with that Ace of Swords reverse and the Knight of Swords reverse. Um they can, for some reason they may not be super confident in this decision for whatever reason. What should she do? The Three of Swords. Okay. I kind of want to say don't put all your eggs in one basket, or don't count your eggs before they hatch, is what I want to say. They seem to be pretty uncertain right now, and they may not be super confident in this choice, but it may be because it's leading you to something bigger. And I know that's not something that you want to hear. So I'm not saying it's a total no, but they don't seem to be totally confident in um this opportunity specifically. They seem to be uncertain. And it can't just be because it's a lack of information. So I don't know. I mean, maybe you can follow up and be like, "Hey, hope everything is well. I was really looking forward to, I don't know if you guys need a second interview." I mean, I don't know. So there are ways you can certainly go about it. But not saying that I'm sorry, Jennifer. Doesn't mean that I'm right. I hope that I'm fucking wrong. I hope I'm the worst tarot reader ever and I just suck and that's it. And then I will just be wrong. And I want you to come back and tell me that I'm wrong. Okay. But I'm thinking of you. And of course, I'm wishing you the absolute best. Thank you so much. Oh, we got my girl Alexis. Hello, I emailed you about this as well, but I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about the mentorship. Also, what's coming for me this week. I was actually going to make a video about it. Absolutely. So there's a 4 week tarot mentorship, there's an 8 week tarot mentorship, and then there's a 12 week tarot mentorship. Okay. So this can be one reading a week on a Zoom call. And so we can discuss anything when it comes to anything emotionally, when it comes to anything spiritually, anything that you really want, anything that you want a reading about. Upon doing that and figuring out what your specific goals are, we will discuss them and we will work through them. And then once the reading is over, within 48 hours, I will go ahead and send you a file, which is basically talking about what we had just discussed and also some resources or some guidance in regards to how to get to your practical, emotional, or spiritual goals. If you want to read or learn tarot, then you'll have to request that specifically. Okay. So, also people that while you're in the mentorship, you will also get Monday through Friday text and email access to me. Each text or email will be answered within 24 hours, but that's definitely not something to abuse. Okay. So, this is not like a 24/7 crisis hotline. Okay. This is obviously not a substitute for a therapy or legal counsel or anything like that, because I'm not a lawyer. I am obviously not a therapist. Okay. Maybe I should have been, but I'm not. And on top of that, what else is the thing? People that are in my VIP tarot mentorship program will get discounted rates for readings that they want on top of what they're already getting, but it's only valid during the mentorship. And now for you, let's see. What's coming for me this week? All right, let's see. 1 sec. Okay, let's see. Page of Cups. I'm not mad about that. 7 of Wands. Okay. What's that? Death in reverse. The Page of Wands. A couple of pages here. You can be getting an offer from somebody specifically. There can be like a competitive feel to this, or an attempt to maintain something because we don't want to let it go. However, there can be something that's not changing. So for instance, this can be somebody's level of confidence. This can be that, the way that we're communicating, if we are talking to people that we shouldn't be, things like that. With the Death in reverse and the Page of Wands, that can certainly be prevalent here. But ultimately, I don't feel like it's terrible. I'm not too big on that Death in reverse. I want to put the Emperor reverse. Is there anything wrong with the Page of Cups? No. Is there anything wrong with the Page of Wands? No. Is there something wrong when its neighbor is the Death in reverse with the Emperor in reverse? Yes. This to me looks like, and I don't know if this is you or somebody else, but there's somebody here who seems to be having a hard time totally evolving. Okay. It doesn't mean that they're not sweet. It doesn't mean that they're not fighting for, I don't know, the job. Doesn't mean that, like, if this is like your employee or something, it doesn't mean that they're not trying to maintain what it is, but they're not evolving to the point of, oh yeah, I feel like I could really give this person a better position, or I feel like I really want to give this person a raise. So whether that's romantically, whether this is an employee or something like that, I know you, so It's hard for me not to, like, narrow down to what I think it is, you know what I'm saying? But it's basically somebody is maintaining what already is, the level of success that has been, showing up sweetly, right, with the Page of Cups, but the Death in reverse with the Page of Wands and the Emperor in reverse tells me that that is where it is. But it doesn't really seem to be, wee, above and beyond kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? There can be somebody who's kind of like falling back into old habits or something like that as well. So just be cautious, or we can be revisiting some kind of issue that we've had in the past, which can be good. I mean, the Eight of Cups in reverse is like when maybe we've walked away from a situation before, but now we're like, okay, I need to go back and I need to revisit this, or I need to solve this, or I need to figure this out, or so it's something more pasty. Let me get your advice for this. You're the one with the power, you're the one with the cards with the magician there. I feel like you need to not doubt that when you're in this position with another person. The Queen of Cups, I heard don't let somebody take advantage of your emotions, but I feel like feelings here in regards to something are mutual, but I feel like you truly are the one with the power, but you need to not doubt that as well. The Sun in reverse. Okay. So once again, don't doubt yourself is what I'm getting with that. The Sun, even in reverse, is still a really positive card. It's still very optimistic. It's very positive. But the Sun in reverse can be like when we're kind of like lacking it a little bit, or our confidence is kind of dying down a bit, and we need to get our shit together. We need to stop doubting that little voice in our head, or we need to stop allowing somebody else's actions or inactions to project some kind of self doubt onto us. So if you feel like you're powerless in a situation because of what somebody else is doing, somebody else's behavior may be an attempt at gaining some form of power through dumbass means or some kind of level of immaturity, but it's not true power. It's insecurity grasping at straws. So I feel like you're the one with the balls, I guess. Not saying that, you know what I mean. Bye. Love ya. Not going there. Thanks a lot, Alexis. God help me. 72XC. Oof. Oh, God, that question breaks my heart so much. I don't even want to read it out loud, and I'm not going to. But when you asked about the happy to unhappy question, I'm going to answer that now. Let me see. Have you always been like a very confident, um, spicy, I don't care what anybody thinks, or have you always gotten a lot of attention? Is there something about you where people gravitate to you in some way? Do you have some kind of social status? Are you just like super sexy? Is it your attitude? What? Because it's almost this. I asked how he wants you to feel, or how he feels when you feel this way. It almost is like there's this energy of him wanting to soften some kind of part of you, or he wants to humble you. The hangman is pretty humble. It's like where we're not really moving. It's kind of 12th housey energy. It's Neptune. It's kind of, we're hanging by a thread here because we're trying to gain perspective. So it almost makes me feel like he wants you to have perspective of him, or of himself, or he wants you to be humbled. I asked what his intentions were with you because I was curious, and I got the 4 of Pentacles in reverse and the 7 of Pentacles. It's it's a strange energy. I mean, it feels like there's not a it's like weird because you guys are married, so there is an investment. But the 7 of Pentacles in reverse is, we're not really that tangibly or practically invested. I don't know if he just thinks that like you're better than him, and so he feels like he can humble you this way, or whatever it is, or if he's trying to spark something in you. Because I asked, like, if he wants you to feel bad, and I got the 2 of Cups reversed. So I don't think so. I don't think he wants you to, like, feel bad, but it's almost this energy of him wanting to soften you, or him wanting to humble you in some weird way. What should she do about this? 3 of Wands, the Moon, the 7 of Swords. So I feel like when it comes to you, you really need to ask yourself if you are getting what it is that you need. If you feel like you've already communicated what you want more than enough times, and you feel like you're not getting that, I need you getting what it is that you want. I need you to listen to that. I also need you to listen to your subconscious, and I need you to listen to your intuition and what it is telling you. And when it comes to any plans that you may have towards like kind of getting out, if that's what you want with that 7 of Swords, you need to do it on the low. I asked if you should leave him, and I had the 10 of Wands. This to me is a maybe. The 10 of Wands can represent something that feels burdensome. We may have now come to the end of the line, maybe not necessarily within the dynamic, but with how something has gone. So now the 10 of Wands is, should we make this harder and continue to carry some kind of weight? Or now can we move up to the Page of Wands, which is after the 10 of Wands, where we can start fresh and we can start brand new through moving through our own insecurities and pushing through them and being able to find our courage through that. But it's going to require conversation. It's going to require initiative. And I don't know on whose part, but if you've already feel like you have been speaking into the void and like he's not hearing you, then I feel like an exit plan would be in order. It would be time to be done. If that now that's a big decision. It's a marriage. It's not like, some guy you dated for a week in high school, right? It's a marriage. So, but if you are truly like, this is terrible, now I feel like I have to come to Violetta Alexis Tarot to figure out what the hell I need to do about this relationship because I feel like shit, then that's something to listen to. Okay, so see, I wanted to pull more cards because this feels very like a very serious situation. So I wanted to pull cards. So I asked if he was cares about your evolution as a person. You see what I'm saying? It's like a weird feeling. It's like the King of Swords is somebody who's thinking with their logical mind. It doesn't mean that they don't have a heart or whatever, but it's more so that they're thinking with their logical mind, and the decisions that they're making are coming from their ego. King of Wands reversed. So it feels like to a point he cares about your evolution, but not if it overshines like his confidence or his ego. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like that saying where they say, they want you to do good unless you're doing better than them, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So just be cautious. Thanks a lot, 72. All right, we got my girl Aubrey. Hello, Aubrey. What do I have to look forward to in love soon? Okay. Eight of Swords, the Temperance reversed. Let's see, only the good stuff, please. Okay. Okay. So if you have felt a little off kilter, off balance, like you've been losing your patience, um just feeling a little lackluster, sometimes even maybe feeling like too much of a good thing or not enough of something, where you feel confused or you feel stuck in that energy, I feel like it's going to be a time where something is going to be taken from your life, and it's going to feel a little uncomfortable at first. But what it's trying to do is it's trying to clear room to let that person that is going to love you, or that person that is going to want to be with you, that person that is attracted to you, that person that's going to initiate and not make you feel imbalanced or uncertain or stuck or trapped or weird or insecure. God or the universe is trying to make room for you. And it's something that you may have been avoiding for a while. Okay. So let's say that you, I don't know, let's say that you have been really wanting to go to the gym for a really long time. Okay. Let's say you've been wanting to go to the gym for a long time and you just, oh God, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then something happens where, I don't know, maybe you, see, this is going to sound really bad. I don't want you to get paranoid. Maybe you end up, um, I don't know, going back to part-time instead of full-time, right? And so now you have more, even though you didn't necessarily want that, it's uncomfortable. You're like, oh God, I don't want to go back to part-time or whatever. They're giving shifts to other people. But now you're like, well, I don't have anything better to do. So now I'm just going to start going to the gym. So it's something that's being kind of removed out of your life to a point, but it's putting you into the thing that you've been avoiding. And it may just be that that person is there at the place that you've been avoiding. Do you see what I'm saying? That was a shitty example, but that was the best thing I could come up with on the fly after doing all these readings. So I hope that that helped, Aubrey. Thank you so much. And I do hope that you will leave me a review and let me know how I did. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Uh, Dayanira? I hope I said that right. I know I didn't. Okay. How does Chad Libra see me Pisces? Let me see. Ooh, damn. Damn. Okay. Well, that's your card. So I feel like when somebody sees you as your major arcana, they view you as you are in your own power. The high priestess is very desirable. She's desired by men, she's desired by women, she's absolutely stunning in a very mysterious way. And with that Nine of Pentacles, this is somebody who feels like you don't need them, but maybe you want them. They feel like you're independent, or they feel like you're looking good, feeling good, smelling good. It's a beautiful energy. Ooh, the Five of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. But they may feel like you're hiding something deeper. They may feel like there's something about you that screams like, I've had trauma in relationships, or maybe you shared something with this person that made you not want to commit, or there's a fear or an insecurity around relationships or around giving yourself too much in some way. But they feel like on your own, you're perfect. But when it comes to relationships, they may feel like you sometimes lose sight of yourself, or there's an insecurity buried deep in there when you start to be intimate with another. Thanks a lot, Day. I really appreciate that. I'm going to call you Day because I just don't want to butcher your name. Thank you so much. We have Ashley B. Whatever comes out, babes. Love ya. I love you too. Let's see. Oh, damn. I got to freaking shuffle again. 1 second. Oh, you're welcome, Aubrey. Thank you. Sorry, I tried my best. Thanks, Justin. Oh, I love you too, Aubrey. Take care. You're welcome, Alexis. Aw, thank you, Aubrey. Have a good night, baby. Alrighty. All right, let's see. If you're dealing with a water sign, sun, moon, or rising, okay, or a very emotionally immature man now, um, that will continue. If you have not met this person, then you very well may. Okay. So you may be dealing with a very emotionally immature man that may get you involved in some kind of drama within the next month. Because I asked what's going on in the next month. And so you may feel like somebody here is very unavailable, somebody's very immature, somebody's involving you in third parties or dramatic situations. So I want to say be cautious of the King of Cups reversed. I kind of want to say don't stay complacent or don't become complacent with where you are. Within the next month, you may feel very um good with where you are. And so you may want to kind of stay in your comfort zone. You like where you're at, it feels comfortable, etc. But I feel like you don't know how many opportunities you're missing because of that. So if like you're like, "Oh, yeah, like I'm just going to like be at this job and I'm not really going to look anywhere else. I'm just going to stay here forever." I'm not saying that's what it is. But it may be that you have no idea the other opportunities you're missing. Or if you're staying complacent in a relationship and it's really not doing it for you, it's asking you to choose yourself. It's asking you to choose yourself, but don't stay in the same place because there are true, practical, tangible opportunities that could lead to the 10 of Pentacles, which is essentially like your legacy and everything that you want. But you may be missing it because of staying complacent. Nope, I'm good with where I'm at. Nope, nope, nope. So what I want to say is like move. Okay. Thanks a lot, Ashley. Love you to pieces. Thank you. All right, we got my girl Savannah. Been having some challenges at work and looking for any messages Spirit has for me. Also, an ex has reached out recently. So, whatever comes through, my name is Savannah and I'm a Leo sun, Pisces moon, and rising. Ugh, Pisces risings are so beautiful. Oh my God. Freaking Billie Eilish is the Pisces rising. So ethereal. All right, let's see. Um, okay. In regards to your work, I have the Hermit reverse, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Justice. These are the Hermit in reverse can be a negative card. It depends on the surrounding cards. So because I see that it's surrounded by positive cards, and this to me is your advice about work. You know who you are. And I feel like you've really had to go through a lot to figure out who that person is. And if there's anybody that's causing you to doubt yourself, second guess yourself in any way, I want you to not allow that to happen. I think that there either is a better opportunity for you or there's an opportunity within the workplace that you should probably decide upon sooner than later. It's something that is authentic to you. I feel like you have the gall, I feel like you have the juice. I feel like you're somebody who may have been through a lot either recently or just in general in your life. And this is something that you can plant now or something that you can do, but it needs to be balanced. Whatever seeds that you're planting now, make sure that they're authentic to who you are in regards to your workspace, in regards to what it is that you're doing. Make balanced decisions as well. Don't overthink yourself. Don't allow people to cause you to overthink or become paranoid in your own space. You know who you are, you know what you want, and build from that place of accomplishment for all the things that you've been through or in regards to who you are and make decisions from that place. Um, let me see about the okay. Let me see about the ex. What happens if she gives it a chance? Uh, ballpark. Okay. Can I be honest? I feel like it's not gonna, I hate to say it, right? But I really feel like the temperance with the death and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse is, it may be that something's not really working, or it doesn't necessarily meet a standard, or it's same old kind of thing. Same day, same, or different day, same dance kind of deal. And I think that it will likely end up ending anyway. But I think that you won't be so sad about it. Like the temperance is when we're content with what is happening. So it may be like it's really nice at first. It maybe may end up feeling very balancing, but it may be that it doesn't work out in the long run, and it's probably because of that Eight of Pentacles in reverse, which is, once again, it can't be that somebody's being too critical of another. It can be that somebody's really not putting in the work or the effort to the point that they should, or somebody's not meeting a standard, et cetera, et cetera. So let me just get your general overall advice. The High Priestess in reverse makes me feel like you haven't hit the potential that you probably know intuitively that you have. And that can be because you're suppressing it for whatever reason. Maybe you're not listening to your intuition. And if it's not even about your potential, or maybe it is, it's asking you to listen to your intuition about things. The Four of Wands in reverse is also asking you not to allow your subconscious or your insecurities to start piling up, where you don't go out and get the things that you want because of your subconscious insecurities. The Nine of Wands is asking you to fight for what it is that you want, and it's telling you that you have the balls to do it. Excuse my French. I know that I can put things so eloquently sometimes, but don't let your insecurities to stop you from fighting for what you really want, because I feel like you know who you are, and I think that you've been through enough to be able to have that right to go after what you want, because I think that you know what you want. Thank you so much, Savannah. Anya! Oh my God, I feel like I haven't seen you forever. Hi. Okay, what would happen if I go on a date with Eli? Let's see. It may feel like it's moving a little slow with that Knight of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, you can feel like maybe this person is moving a little bit slower than you like, or a little bit more cautious, because either they want to do it right, or you can feel, because I'm like, well, how is she going to view Eli after this date, right? Because that'll kind of give me an indication on what's going to happen. And so you may feel like this person is either, if this is like a past person, you may feel like they are repeating cycles, or you may feel like they're moving slowly to have some kind of sense of control. So like, oh, I'm not going to text you for a couple of days so that way she knows I'm not thirsty, or whatever it is. Okay, whatever you young whippersnappers are doing these days. King of Swords, the Emperor. It's very it reminds me of a Capricorn that I went on a date with. It's like this very silent confidence. You know what I'm saying? So it may feel like he's a bit detached, or it may feel like there's not much talking going on, but it feels like you're going to probably see him as like he has the power for some reason. Should she go on this date or not? Eight of Cups reversed. I don't know if this is a past person, but the Eight of Cups reversed can be like where we're going back to either an illusion, we're going back to something that we had once walked away from and maybe we shouldn't, or the Eight of Cups in reverse can be talking about when we may end up settling for some reason. Knight of Swords reversed. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna. I don't know. I mean, like, see what happens, but it can feel a bit detached. It can feel a little bit slow. It can feel like he's trying to be in control. It can feel like a weird silent thing. You could feel like you're going back to an old way of doing something, or an old pattern. I don't think it would be terrible, but it's going to be like, hello. You know what I mean? That's what I have for you, Anya. I had to pull some extra cards because I was like, what's going on here? Thank you. India, extra advice on how to deal with the friendship I talked to you about on the one-on-one. Sure, let me see. Queen of Swords reversed. I feel like you need to not lose your cool, and I feel like you have to find a way to be able to regulate your mental health when it comes to this person, if this person triggers that, and not allow yourself to make emotions, sorry, it's been a long night, make decisions from your emotions, like when you're in a bad emotional space. So this may require you to fall back and take a moment. Yep, see, Six of Pentacles in reverse. Pull back your energy, not give too much. Stop giving everything that you usually do and see what happens. The Hangman reversed, the Five of Pentacles. The Hangman reversed for advice can be it's Neptune, okay? So it can be like when we're not seeing things clearly, and it can be because you're too in your head, you're too in your emotions, and it's asking you maybe once again you need to fall back for a minute instead of trying to hold on so tightly to something or trying to analyze it, and release it for a minute. Like, you know how, and I use this example a lot, but when you have a picture or like a painting on the wall, right? And say I blindfold you and I put you this close to the painting, right? And then I take off your blindfold and I'm like, okay, India, what is that painting of? Well, if you're this close to it, you're not going to know what the fuck it is, right? Now, if I put on the blindfold and I tell you to take 10 steps backwards and then I take off the blindfold again, I'm be like, what is that painting of? And you're gonna be like, oh, it's a little man in a boat with a fucking lighthouse and some waves and there's a monster under the sea, whatever it is, right? So sometimes you're needing to get that space in order to see what it really is, in order to understand the big picture and the picture within itself. So is it just a little man in a boat, you know, or is there a monster underneath? Is it just a blob of colors, or do we need to take a moment to see what it really is? So, my advice is to take some space and be honest with yourself. Okay. It doesn't mean that it's got to be like a bad honesty, but don't make impulsive decisions from emotional dysregulation. Thank you so much, India. Day, what are Chad's feelings for me? Obsessed, Seven of Cups, King of Cups, obsessed, in love, probably, excuse me, but sometimes the Seven of Cups can talk about like a sexual fantasy. So this person may sexually fantasize you about a lot, potentially may be in love with you, but I don't think that he's saying that. He may be, but the King of Cups is usually like he's very, he loves and he loves deeply, but he's more of like a still water. You know what I'm saying? Damn, girl, what did you do to this man? King of Wands reversed and the Lovers. So I feel like there's definitely something about you that feeds his ego, okay? Maybe not in the healthiest of ways, but regardless, the Lovers is one of those connections that you really don't ever get. It's very rare. It's very uncommon. And he may feel like his connection with you is uncommon. I feel like this person is in love with you, or this person is at the least very infatuated. So I'm not mad at you, girl. Go ahead. Just be careful during Venus retrograde. All right, you guys. Um, oh, I'm sorry, Underdog Tarot. Yeah, trust me, I know, I get it. I really do. I really do. I love you. I'm sorry. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. Please have a wonderful evening. Shout out to Lori, the best mod ever. Okay. Thank you so much for doing the timestamps, Lori. You are an absolute gift. Thank you for being here every single time I go live. I really could not do it without you. Thank you to all of my dragons. Thank you to everybody that came in tonight. It was a blessing to have you, of course. And I hope that you guys have a beautiful evening. And hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.